Okay then, and that should be going live. Indeed. Excellent connection again. Lovely to see. After YouTube's hiccups last night. Glad to see that not all is lost. Okay, that should be good, I think. Yeah, second screen is working as well. A little bit early, but better to be early than late. And we'll just give it a little while for everything to grind into action. Hello, Isaac. Good to see you. And yeah, a successful first part, I would say, even if we lost our very first battle. Hello, Melissa and Badania? Or wait, no. Badania. Do let me know if I'm saying your name wrong, because I know it must be annoying. Hello, Psycha. Anyway, we shall get going fairly soon. Badania. Okay, good. I'm glad that I didn't completely massacre it on the first attempt. But yes, we shall load into the game and just take a look at things as they stand. We'll give it, a slow start to give people a chance to filter in because we are a little early. But yes, successful first part. We may have lost our first battle, but with our dwarven labourers. But other than that, we have been turning Gundabad back rather successfully. And I've had a think about things, and there is something I'm going to do which has the potential to make our lives in the short term a little bit easier, but potentially bring a little bit of extra challenge later on. It could bring extra challenge fairly quickly depending on what the AI are actually doing, because I don't really know what they're doing beyond the fog of war, but I have an idea on that. It's typical Indian. Hey there, Serpent King. But yes, here we are. State of play as it stands. Decent first part. We expanded westward, taking both of the settlements. Obviously, the shape of the mountain range is such that it's not hyper easy as good as Gundabad, as Erebor, to move this way, because you have to split your force off into two areas, which did slow us down a little bit. But ultimately, it isn't too much of a speed bump. You can definitely make it work for you relatively easily, and so we were able to prove here. And yeah, we will be moving forward. Our next target, regardless of whatever else happens, is going to be Dane's Halls, because we can rush it down, essentially. And that should be the point then where Gundabad look to try and retake it, while they could just walk past and go for Onazana and Withyboard. I doubt they would, because Dane's Halls is a much more valuable settlement and it's very close to them. And they can surround it, they can hit it from both sides, which is something. It also gives us the ability to move through the ERED MITHRIN mountains without having to go all the way around them, either via Gundabad or through our territory. So that is worth bearing in mind. I think we already did most of the building stuff last time, didn't we? Yes, we did. We can't build anything else here yet because it takes quite a long time for our troops to replenish, being that we are dwarves. But that brings us to what I'm going to do, and that is, initially I was going to build up a force to go eastwards, but I'm actually not going to do that now because I've had a little thought. And I would quite like to actually see Rune do something in the campaign. And if I start moving eastward, claiming rebel regions, and even just starting to launch minor raids into them, I can guarantee Dorwinion will win relatively comfortably again, as they have in the last two campaigns, without Dwarven support, really. I would like to just leave them to it and see if Rune are capable of actually growing into a nation that we can fight in the late game. Now that is fairly risky, because Rune have got quite a few tools that make them quite a dangerous opponent for us. They've got quite a decent amount of AP, they've got some good pikes, they've got scary cavalry late on. But I would quite like to see them actually do something, and it would give us a natural foe later on if they were to blossom into an actual faction. How this makes this easier for us in the short term, I am going to move these units in Kirit Gathol, these infantry units here, back when I am able. Which is actually immediately. So yeah, we can get a bit of free upkeep there as well. This means that we will have another section of forces coming over here to help us take the ERED MITHRIN mountain range away from Gundabad, And it also means with our full might over here, I feel a little bit less trepidation over the fact that Gundabad will get a doom stack when we push them back far enough. Depending on how we do that will depend on how scary that is, but doubtless they will have at the very least a bunch of Black Shield units, but Bolg's Champions and Pale Uruks are what I'm mainly concerned about. Hey there, Xavier. The Oricani dwarves are the dwarves of the Red Mountain Serpent King, which are sort of off this way somewhere. They're not actually on the map. I mean, if they were to be on the map, they would probably be literally right here, but they're the dwarves of the east, and they are essentially the eastern equivalent of the dwarves of the Blue Mountains over here in Ered Luin. Not much is known about the Oricani though, which is why it tends to be that sort of custom stuff in the Tolkien universe as it pertains to dwarves. The Oricani are a bit of a blind spot which allow people to fill in the blanks for themselves. And as Erebor, of course, because we're the closest ones to the Red Mountains, we can train their units. And it makes sense as well that that's the stacks that Khan get if you join the Blue Wizards, because they obviously come from that direction as well. So that's it's an interesting thing. It's one of those relative blind spots in the Tolkien universe. Right. They are not terribly useful. Do we have any Mattocks we can actually combine? No, every other unit of Mattocks we have is at its full strength. I mean, Dane's Halls is actually reasonably undefended. We could probably get away with moving forward immediately, which I think we will probably do. We can actually leave those Mattocks behind. Right, yes, these axe throwers can move forward with all haste, and we've got some labourers on the way as well, which they can form up a decent garrison in Erebor, which is already probably in military build policy, which, yep, we do not want that. Yes, that's much better. They probably will still be a little bit unhappy that we're leaving them with a garrison of literally 8 dwarves. Oh no, I guess we do have the armoury. Most likely Rune will... Hey there, Lucas. Most likely Rune will crumble before you fight them. Yeah, Xavier, they definitely will if I go over there and start poking them, as well as Dorwinion and possibly Dale, depending upon how Dale get on with going into the rebel regions. It could be that Dorwinion and Dale go after them anyway, in which case they'll die again. Dorwinion alone have killed them in the last 2 campaigns, but I would like to give them that opportunity. It is one of those fights on the map that could go either way, potentially. So it is something that I would quite like to see. Interesting to see how the other relative 50-50 fights go as well. One thing that we've seen in both campaigns as well is Khazad-dûm. While it took them a very long time, they did ultimately overcome Moria both times. It would be interesting to see if Moria can be victorious this time around. And yeah, just in general, I wonder what Dol Guldur will do as well. I mean, it's very likely Dol Guldur will probably just sit in the forest and get slowly bled out by both Sylvan Elf factions, but we'll see. For now, our goals are clear, and we'll focus on Gundabad because they're our most immediate threat. And also, to be honest, these settlements over here are way more valuable to us than the rebel regions out in the east. It also, to stop waffling on this topic, but it also means that potentially we could see Kirit Gathol used, because it is a custom battle map, and the chances of us actually utilising it if we expand eastwards are nil. So if Rune do expand rapidly and actually come onto my doorstep, and you know, maybe I lose Kirit Gathol and Thorin as a result of doing this, but that will be because of my own incompetence, and I feel as though that is fair enough. Right, so we already have them, we already have them. We could start moving forward from Onazanar as well, perhaps with just the archers. We're going to start, well, we won't make as much money from here, but like Erebor alone is enough to sustain us financially. Right, yeah, well, they're not even unhappy about being on military build policy. Goes to show how far we've come. Yeah, they're just content. So Gimli can move forward with his Northman archer companies, and we'll hit Dane's Halls and have a good garrison in there. And if they try to go around, we can just intercept them with an army. Hello, Val. Dol Guldur will not last long. Dale, Anduin, Lorien, and the Woodland Realm. Yeah, it's rough for Dol Guldur. Like, they're right in the middle of some very angry and quite powerful factions as well. We'll have to wait and see. I did note, however, in Windy's Northern Dunedain campaign, Dol Guldur are doing amazingly well when he revealed the map, which is very surprising, to be honest. But no matter. I mean, if Dol Guldur do get strong, that's just another later game foe for us to fight. So I think that's pretty much it. We're already building stuff everywhere. And yes, we shall pass the turn. Erebor is definitely a fairly comfortable campaign in terms of starting position because you have such an economic powerhouse in your capital itself, and your units early game are reasonably high quality. Gimli could build some watchtowers. Yeah, that's a good point, Xavier. I should do that because that is a bit of a blind spot in our realm. Makes sense for us to build watchtowers all along the ERED MITHRIN as well. There's a lot of story in them Thar Hills. Right, what have we got here? What mission did we fail? It was get trade rights with someone, wasn't it? Angmar? Yeah, no. Definitely not. Right, Onazanar and Kirik Gathol. Right, what should we build here for you? We should build something that allows us to... That would probably not be a bad idea, because we'll need more axe throwers out on the field to deal with the inevitable Gundabad Doomstack, because they're by far and away our best bet for dealing with Bolg's champions. Miners' quarters, that's the recruitment slots. I mean, we can't recruit quickly enough for that to be necessary at this point in time. A pig farm, that's Happiness, the brewery, I think. A mining network is, I mean, that's a lot of... We can get a ton of gold by building mines. But, we'll go for that for now, because we will need more units eventually. And Kirit Gathol, I think what we will probably do over here is we were going to do something along the lines of the Orikani Guild Hall, I believe. Hey there, Demon's Hunter. The Elven factions are useless when controlled by the AI, and Dol Guldur also get massive expansion scripts to balance it. Yeah, they like, as Dol Guldur as a player, you get one region. AI Dol Guldur get like 6 or 7, which is probably one of the bigger differences. Rune are like that as well. They get like a ton of regions, whereas you start as one with the player. But what should we build here? Maybe an armory would be okay, but I think actually it would... maybe a spy wouldn't be the worst thing, but maybe a mining network would be good as well. Now we will, I think, just in case of trouble on the horizon, we will build an Orikani Guild Hall as well, because it will allow us to build units more quickly. Labourers? Sure, why not? Because our forces here are going to continue to move, and you two are also going to roll out of here, so we don't have a lot of free upkeep anymore. Not a lot of forts here in the north, I've noted. We'll construct a watchtower. It's only a unit of 1, so Gimli and his archers will squash them with impunity. What have we got here as well? Raiders, spears. There's an Angmarim diplomat. Hello there, Dogi Man Lol 1. Okay, so they have got a few more units coming forward. It's not a terrible force, that. But I think, could we? We could reach it in one turn, but we'll see what they do. Okay, we'll move up to probably about there, because we'll easily be able to... We could reach... I think there is actually a gap there, isn't there? We can't quite reach Dane's Halls in this turn, which is a little bit frustrating, but doesn't matter anyway, because we'd need to siege it down without the use of towers. Retrained units. Maybe we do need these boys on the way forwards. Diplomatic information. Enidwythe have chosen the good path, and Dorwinion, they don't start at war with Rune, which I keep forgetting, but it's an inevitability, so now they shall start going hammer and tongs at one another. And we've got very good relations with the Dwarves of Khazad-dûm. Very unsurprising. Okay. Sounds good. What do they actually have in Dane's Hall? So they've got Crook, Conqueror of Dane's Halls, so a general. But not a problem for us, I wager. We'll see what they do here. I mean, if they attack us, I feel fairly confident in our ability to hold the line. Let's get some Dwarven labourers forward as well. Units constantly on the move. Can't construct anything else yet. That market should help improve our economic standing as well, because we're not gaining much money anymore, but that's because we're not really fighting battles. But that could change this turn. Oh yeah, before I forget, we have our diplomat here who can talk to Elrond himself. Hello, my friend. How about some trade rights, and I'll give you some map information.
It's good to see the region of
Marvellous.
an honor and a pleasure.
I guess now, Bomber, who I think is that guy with crazy, like, ginger facial hair in the Hobbit movie, isn't it? That's how he was depicted anyway. Bree is about here, I believe, isn't it? There's an Angmar army. But yes, we shall... Oh, for crying out loud. Really? Okay, I'll let you through. Invest in the Master Stoneworkers and reduce the time and cost will be useful. Yep, it will. But that's only 3 turns to build that in Onazanar anyway, and it's very cheap, and it'll help us get units out more quickly, which we will need as we continue to build towards crushing the Pale Orcs of the North. And we've got more units on the way. Okay. Interesting to see what they do here, actually, because there are a few armies that they could send our way. Specifically to attack Dane, but again, we've got a unit of reasonably solid archers at range now that we can use for Dane. Gundabad. Ah, they're going into the into Dane's halls. Are they? Well, no, they're not. I mean, that should be enough actually to draw them out of Dane's halls, which means we can fight them on the open field, which is a little bit of a shame, actually. I was hoping to see Dane's halls in action sooner rather than later. Like, why are we doing this now? Why? I mean, maybe Angmar is more understandable because they're evil men primarily, aren't they? But they've still got orcish elements to them. So I don't think Dane would be short-sighted enough. Right, yeah, we've built a pig farm in with the board. Unit recruitment, labourers, relations improved with the Northern Dunedain. You love to see it. Yeah, no, I don't think so. We're just going to avoid Angmar. I think Dane is too much of a wise old dwarf to fall for such nonsense. Right. Okay, so now we'll go this way, I think. Burzakul. That's the other unique settlement that's up here in the north, but we won't be taking that. I think we'll try and take Gundabad before Burzakul, to be honest with you, because it shuts off anyone stealing valuable territories from us. We're the dwarves, so we're meant to be greedy. That's how I'm justifying it. Right, actually, we'll kill you first, because you are just Snow Orc spears, really. I'm surprised that the balance of power is that close, to be honest. Gimli alone will massacre spears of this nature, but such is the way of things in the auto-resolve when it concerns orcs. All mountain settlements are custom. Goblin Town is, the Khazad-dûms are, Mount Gundabad is, Ornazanar, Erebor, Kirit Cathol, Burzakul, Kharn-dûm, Mount Graham, technically Latash. The only ones I'm not sure about actually are the ERED Luin ones, but I would assume they are. Again, the unnaturally bright snow. Right, we'll go up here first, and then we'll... what have we got going on down there? They would actually be way better served getting into melee with us, but they won't. And this is where Gundabad are at their weakest. We may not be an archer faction, but they are weak to arrows. It would be a remarkably one-sided affair, I think, for Mirkwood to take Gundabad on, because even early on your archer power will absolutely massacre the Snow Orcs. And of course, as Mirkwood, you have a little bit more of an imminent threat to your other border as well in Dol Guldur because of the auto-expansion being what it is. So I suppose that is a way of balancing. Oh, they're just going to sit there? Okay. Or are they? Maybe they feel as though they could charge my Northman archers, but with the close proximity of the Axe Guard, they are not so keen. Yeah, go after them. This is not good for them. Balance of power was quite even, but we may actually end up losing virtually no one because the Snowhawk Spears probably do not have what it takes to, and that's a little bit unfortunate because of the low accuracy of very basic units of archers. It is nice actually to have the punch of these axe throwers, and this is the best tool that we will have, I think, for dismantling a Gundabad stack of higher quality. The damage that you can do at close range, especially if it turns into a defensive siege. If we were to, for example, rush down Gundabad and the Doom stack tried to take it back. Right, let's deal with this. That's the Horn of Helm Hammerhand sound, isn't it, for the Dwarven charge? Yeah, don't lose a single man. Perfect. 0 losses. Exactly what you want to see. Gundabad are a slippery faction, though. I've got to give them that. The way that they're set up is not ideal for Erebor by any means. Like I said in the last part a few times, Erebor have got a lot of AP. We might be a contender actually for the faction with the best array of AP infantry there is in the game. We've got 4 of our 5 highest tier infantry is like really good AP stuff. The Dragon Slayers are a shielded unit which we can build. And then we've got 3 units of armor piercing shock troops as well. Right, let's creep forward. Right, let's go for Captain Yagaz. Okay, yeah, so they're not going to come out of Dane's Halls to meet us. They have no archers. They have javelins, but no archers. So this should be pretty good for us because we've got 2 units of archers. So for once, we're going to have the arrow advantage. The Axe Guard of Erebor are one of the coolest looking dwarves in the game. Most heavily armed, best AP, strongest shock. But, yeah, let's do it. Dane himself. So yeah, we can use our archers, poke and prod at some of their dangerous units. I did notice they had a unit of those Mountain Orc Axemen, which we should make priority target 1, because they can actually do a bit of damage to us in the melee. Right then. They'll probably go over there, won't they? Could they actually go up here? They could. I mean, that would be nightmarish. I mean, maybe not actually. They don't have the range, do they? I guess they've got javelins, but... Okay. Well, we'll set up on... Well, we'll set up close to where we start, actually. We've also got some cav, which is nice. We'll probably keep them back till later on, though. That's a good point, actually. We have... This is our first look at one of our Oricani units, the Stiffbeards. As far as archers go, they're pretty basic. They've only got 3 missile damage. The same missile damage, actually, as the Northmen archers, but they are much tankier, which is nice. But I like their style as well. I like the fact that they do look distinct next to the Erebor dwarves. They've got those sort of conical helmets, which remind me of some, like a Middle Eastern design of armour that is also in Bannerlord for the Aserai. There's like a certain helmet in that game that they use, which is quite similar to that, and I like that. I like that they've got that going for them. We've also got some throwing axes, which is marvellous, and a lot of good infantry on the fronts. That's going to be our front line. And... Yep. Oh no, they're over there. They are going to go up there then, are they? Well, if that's the case, then let's... I like the Khazad-dûm aesthetic more. Khazad-dûm's aesthetic changes as the game goes on, which I find quite interesting. You start off as like a band of like dwarven travellers that are all sort of... They've got like a sort of varied style across even individual units. I know that Balin's General's Bodyguard is a bit like that. But as the game goes on, you sort of reform into that professional uniform look that they are known for. I mean, if they form up there, that's going to be nice shots for us. Which would be really good. there. Go there, and I guess you can go... Actually, you can't go there, can you? Okay, you go over here then. No archers, only javelins. Oricania from the Far East. I think at one stage, I don't know if that's still the case, because to be honest, I've fallen out of touch with the development of Rise of Mordor somewhat, but at one point, weren't the Oricani going to be a faction in that? I don't know if there's quite enough in that game to give you the necessary basis for an entire faction, necessarily. Right, what is this one unit of Erebor infantry doing? They don't seem to be too interested in moving forth. Right. Yes, go here, please. We're dwarves. We've got... we're hardy. I think, to be fair though, like with the heavy armor aesthetic that the dwarves are always bound to have, then they're going to look pretty good. I mean, even like more basic units of dwarves look pretty cool. I think they've got that sort of coat of plates look going on, but more professional than someone like Rudauer or Enidwaith. Right, are they going to move forwards, or are we in range yet? No, that's it. The Mountain Orc Hunters, isn't it? That's the unit that we want to be. Maybe a little bit wary of. Slow and steady wins the race as the dwarves. Organisation is king. The Oricani Mountains are like really, really far to the east, so the map has to be huge if they want an Oricani faction. Where did the Vault Wardens go? I've no idea, Alex. Erebor does not receive that much love in Rise of Mordor. One issue that I've always seen in Attila, it was really apparent actually in Medieval 1212, it might have been fixed by now, I'm not sure, but tier 3 heavily armoured units do not die. So in order, like the dwarves, I can guarantee are probably OP, seeing as I'm someone who knows next to nothing about the game and how it's balanced, I would assume that the dwarves are horrendously overpowered because of how Attila seems to work. I know that high tier infantry in this can be extremely overbearing, especially as it pertains to like some of the best high elven stuff, but that will almost certainly be more of an issue in Rise of Mordor because of Attila's base mechanics, and it's not the biggest reasons, but it's one of the reasons why I've never really gotten into the Attila scene. They keep shifting backwards ever so slowly. I mean, they're going to start charging forwards as soon as I get into range. But I guess I'm okay with that. Actually, don't fire at will, because you'll probably start shooting at that really depleted unit. Still, seemingly, I can't quite shake the feeling that my archers should have more range, but that is a holdover perhaps from my Lothlorien way of thinking. Let's have a little look actually, because there were the Axemen. There's a lot of Snow Orc Raiders. Orc Hunters are garbage. Orc Fighters, very, very poor. Where are those axes? They're probably hidden, aren't they? They're probably a unit that can hide anywhere. They're basically the Mountain Orc Berserkers after all. So it would not surprise me in the least. Okay. What's your opinion on the Bannerlord Lord of the Rings mod in development? Very excited for that one. It'd be a long way. Like it's so far away from being an actual thing. But it could be so good. This is incredibly frustrating. I hate that the AI does this. It's just such a pain in the arse. Like if you were going to deploy up there in the first place, just do it from the start. Don't deploy forwards and then slowly shift your way backwards. It's just... But yeah, to get back to Bannerlord, that could very well be one of the best mods. I mean, it has the potential to be like the best mod project, in my opinion, there has ever been. For anything. Just generally. Right, well, they're going to go up here to the top of this cliff, aren't they? They're going to be arseholes about this. Ugh. We're so slow. As you would expect, I suppose. It's the right thing to do, absolutely it's the right thing to do, but I just wish the AI would have the brains to deploy up here to start with, and just save us all the trouble of inching towards one another, because it's so awkward and frustrating. They're not even going to hold that choke anyway, so it's kind of a moot point really. They're going to come back down. There is a fucking time limit as well. Oh no. Right. Why would they go up there and then come back down? Just bizarre. And now my archers are going to refuse to fire, aren't they? Yep. You love to see it. Medieval 2's horrendous pathfinding in full effect again. You don't have any archers, so why are they trying to get the high ground? Because that's what the AI does. That's the only tactic they have. Now they're not even going for the high ground at all. Are they going to try and go across the map to that high ground? Is that the plan here, lads? Is this what it's come down to? Oh, come on. Friendly fire. Yeah, can we form up into a proper shape, please? You're supposed to be dwarves. You're supposed to be disciplined. Professional armies, not shimmying around one another. Charge into them. Okay. A truly bizarre situation to be in. Yeah, they're going to get charged. They may break because they're so depleted. Oh yeah, they're all hunters. Charge into them.
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will.
Orc hunters are going to leave. Again, my whole unit is not moving. Not enjoying how unresponsive my units seem to be, I have to say. I know that it's a Medieval 2 thing in general, but they seem to be plagued by it so far, the dwarves. I don't know whether it's just their slow movement speed, meaning they're even more susceptible to it. But at least we're actually... Yeah, that's not what I wanted to see either, to be honest with you. The fact that those units there are the ones that are in against my general. That's exactly what I was hoping to avoid, but... Hey there, Jonathan. Just push forwards and crush them against the cliff. I'm not going to push into them. That'll end up doing more damage to my own men in this situation. Again, can we form up more quickly? You're walking. You go over there. I mean, they're getting absolutely crushed by Dane, I suppose, so it really doesn't matter either way. Right, no. Go back over there. Form up.
The enemy's general lies dead.
Yep.
Let the crows have his.
It was a rather pointless gesture to do this, but I mean, I suppose they stopped me from using my archers in the way that I wanted. It would have been a very efficient engagement if they had allowed me to do that, but yeah, now they're dying. And it was embarrassing for them. Again, big brain moves from the AI. No, we're continuing. I'm not letting them get away with all of this junk. Just reform our infantry a little bit. Go after the orc fighters. No, the orc fighters. What were they throwing their axes at? There wasn't even anything close enough to throw at, was there? Got a better range than I gave them credit for, if so. Anyway. Never in danger of losing that fight, but it's so frustrating when the AI does stuff like that, because all it achieves is wasting time. We lost very little as well, so I suppose I can't complain about that. Kill off the raiders. No. Shoot at them. Get a little bit more... well, we're going to have loads of experience on this Dale cavalry. Who knows, maybe they will actually prove to be strong horsemen. They're the only ones we have, so they will have to be. Although I'd really appreciate it if they actually killed off this unit instead of running around it. Come on. You know you want to. There's literally 5 of them remaining. Just swing your sword in their direction and they will die. There we go. See, it wasn't that hard in the end. And Dane's halls will probably fall without much fanfare at this point because we can siege it down. And Gimli can arrive from the other side as well. I think Gimli is the one that we'll probably forge deep into enemy lines with and try and claim Gundabad with. I think that would be good because he will be able to hold Gundabad quite nicely because I know what the Gundabad battle map is. Well, yeah, we're going to be executing them. Right. Are you... Okay, well... I suppose we're going to be sieging it down with you then. Ain't that just typical? You gotta love the misclicks. Gotta love them. We'll reinforce him from that side, I suppose. Ugh. You fool. Right then. You... forwards. And you lot. I mean, you've got free upkeep at the moment, but I don't think we really need free upkeep, do we? Anyway, we can build another building here. Roads would not be such a terrible idea, considering we're going to need to transfer units back and forth. But I think this might be a good idea here as well. It's not really a recruitment hub, this, though. I just want basic units from Witherboard. So, yeah, we'll go with roads. Roads, I think, are the best choice on this occasion. Can we build anything else here? Nope. Okay. Okay, after that incredibly frustrating field battle and the fact that the misclick means that Dane wasn't able to siege down Dane's halls, we'll pass the turn there. It's of little concern in the end, though. Dane's halls is going to fall, and that'll be a good settlement for us to have. Woodland Realm. Do you want an alliance? Is that what you're here for, Thranduil? Oh, absolutely.
It was a fair deal, yes?
It was a fair deal.
There is something else until we meet again.
I was fearing I'd have to pay you for that because of how stubborn Thranduil is, but that makes life a little bit easier. If we can get an alliance with the Anduin Vale as well, we will have formed up the northern powerhouse that I want. We'll see if we can get Dorwinion involved as well. Right. Gundabad did precisely nothing. Right, rams. So I guess we'll just continue to siege. What's this? That's I mean, we could assault this, and I suppose... Do we get reinforcements if we assault this, though? Right, hold on a second. There's just some really weird intricacies that go on with battles like this. I mean, if we get Dane from the other side, this will be probably an auto-resolve, to be honest, but I... okay. We only have a ladder though, don't we? And we might need the ram. So he gets orc defenders. No, we'll keep sieging him. You can move forwards as well. So I'm a little bit concerned about these armies over here getting into Gimli, which might actually be enough of a reason for us to pull back with Gimli. Although he can't now, can he? We're stuck in Dane's Halls, I think, because it's technically an enemy zone of control. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Right, okay, yeah, you go into Witherboard. We have relations improved with the Woodland Realm. We're perfect relations with the Woodland Realm. You'd love to see it, right? You go this way. You keep going this way as well. Can we train any more units yet? Nope. Takes a little while for us to be able to train things up. Okay, well, regardless. That's rattled me a little bit, that, because we should already have Dane's Halls, and if we end up losing Gimli because of a misclick, I'm going to be very unimpressed. Send the troops from Onazanar over to Gimli. They won't make it in time, Serpent King. It's a longer distance. There's no point. It'll achieve nothing. Yeah, they won't even make it halfway. So by the time they make it there, Gimli will either be victorious or dead. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, if it's just this army here, we should be able to win it because we're the defenders, so we can set up on a hill and bombard them, and Gimli can just roll them over with archers. If it's that as well, we're in massive trouble. Gimli will die. Frustrating. Frustrating indeed. There we go. Bree. How about trade rights, and I'll give you map information. The usual stuff. Good. I'm glad you think so, Bree. What should we do with Bomber now? I guess we could start heading down to the Gap of Rohan with you. You are in Mengalan. Go around. Right, okay. We shall wait and see how this transpires. I'm concerned though, because he can't retreat. He's stuck in Dane's Halls on the map as a feature. Which means even if I wanted to, I probably would pull back with him then, to be honest with you, because it's not worth... Like, Dane doesn't need Gimli's help with those Northman archers to win that fight. I'm glad we're going to have those reinforcements coming across from the eastern portion of our realm, though, because they might be necessary. They don't seem to be... Yeah, they're moving this way. They're not going to have the movement to get there, fortunately for me, so we will be fine. But we will need to post up in Dane's Halls. Mengelin is Tirn Gorthad, right? I think so, yeah. It's the... trade rights? I'm not sure about this one, because Angmar, it's not... If it were goblins and orcs of the mountains, the dwarves would absolutely turn them away without question. But Angmar, it's a little bit more of a questionable subject because they're men. Undesirable men, but... You know what? We probably will end up going to war with them at some stage. So I'm going to decline. I was tempted to say yes to that, but what faction would you like to play in the next campaign? Someone in Erebor, I was thinking, which kind of cuts down on the options, to be honest with you. It means that we haven't played as one of the Orc factions yet, but it probably wouldn't be an Orcish one. I was thinking Bree would be a pretty good one. Osgiliath is under attack. Right. Right, Dane. Be extremely careful, because apparently... Now we shall assault. You are definitely not having control of him. because you will throw his life away like the fools you are. They don't actually have any archers, so we should be able to just knock down whatever gate there is and then use our archers and our axe throwers to just destroy their general. What do you think is the best faction in the game? If you mean in terms of effectiveness, most people will probably tell you the High Elves. If you mean what's my favourite faction in the game, I couldn't really answer that because it kind of depends on the experience you have with each one. Northern Dunedain might be a shout for that though, because they've got a lot of scripts in their favour. Interesting to see what this battle map looks like. Isengard is a real fan favourite as well. Ah, it's this one. Okay. Right, where is my boy Gimli? Yes, I remember this battle map. I've done a multiplayer battle on this one before. Oh yeah, the Dwarven Rams. Dwarven Siegecraft is a little bit more well engineered, I suppose. Although I can guarantee my units will still drop like flies, even with that protection. What faction is the most cost effective? That might be Isengard actually, just because you get access to troops at the start which are better than the equivalent Gondorians, but you can train them more quickly. So the Gondorians might not be a bad shout for not the Gondorians, the Isengardians, to coin a phrase, might not be the worst ones there. Perhaps Val could tell you though. Oh, Isengard is, yeah. Yeah, I know that stuff like the Uruk-hai Raiders are like better than the equivalent Gondorian militia units, and you can train them more quickly and so on and so forth. They're a popular faction to play, but not just because of that, I don't think. They're just pretty good all round. Dana's here. Yeah, we probably won't actually even need help. Is there a way in back here, or are we just doomed? I think we are doomed. Gimli is just going to have to sit this one out, I suppose, or can he go all the way around? Is this a way that we can take? I guess it is. What's this? A little pathway? No. Okay. I think Gondor are the most cost effective. Or Gondor, Isengard and Gondor. This battle is still going on. No, it's a different battle now, Alex. We're on Dane's Halls now. Very different indeed. Right, we will form up. You will go here. You there. We don't really need our cavalry at all, to be honest with you. Damaging units as well. Yeah, now that, I mean, ladders really wouldn't have been sufficient. And well, I guess you can use ladders, can't you? Because you can go onto these walls, I think, and then go inside that way. But it's kind of a weird one, that. Right, we'll see if Gimli does indeed arrive, but I somewhat doubt it. Yeah, we'll be pretty good here. We'll be able to filter in with our axe throwers and our archers and do the business. And the Orc Baneguard. Yeah, the Orc Men units. I learned, much to my chagrin as Lothlorien, that the Orc Men units are surprisingly durable, even under like really powerful Elven arrow fire. So yeah, Isengard. I'm sure that them being a bit of a fan favourite does have something to do with the fact that they are a very effective faction, especially when you compare their rosters to the other forces of Orcs. Like, it's a completely different ballgame as Isengard. You get access to like human level of quality while still having the ability to produce in the same way as the Orcs, more or less. Think about it, Moria is the most cost effective because their elite units cost less than the Gondor militia. Yeah, but by the time you're building those elite units in depth, you're going to have to face off against some of the scarier factions at the sharp end. Like, as Moria, you're going to have to tangle with the High Elves, with Khazad-dûm. Anduin aren't much of a problem, but the Dunedain, potentially. Also, you don't even start with Goblin Town as Moria if you play as them, which is definitely maybe a bit of a concern for you. Slowly but surely, we'll be reclaiming one of the objectives that the game has laid out for us. One of the main dwarven holds, and henceforth King Dane will be known as the Conqueror of Dane's Halls. I remember the battle actually I did in multiplayer on this map, or I commentated on anyway. It's quite fun. I always like the unique dwarven architecture. I think stuff like those statues are really nice quality. Right, yeah, knock that gate down, boys. Hey there, llama boy. Yeah, this will give us a nice springboard to move forwards. As long as we can hold on to Dane's Halls. We need to produce a second... We need 2 banner armies, basically. One to sit in Dane's Halls and another to go off and take Gundabad, and then it doesn't really matter where the Doomstat goes. I think with a banner army, even of basic quality, we should be okay. Gimli actually has got more chevrons than Dane, but such is the way of things when you're talking about a ranged unit, even with limited ammo, like my boy Gimli. Right, what have we got going on here? Okay, let's see what we can do here. So no need for 6 times speed now. You in like that. Actually, let's half speed this. You like so. You like so, and you the same. They're like Erebor infantry. The Axor is only slightly worse, and the Mattocks as well can come in just to be some reinforcements should they be required. Isengard is a bit overpowered when you play as them. Orkman units were so durable because Isengard gets an advanced blacksmith in Isengard, and that gets like +5 armor stat. Yeah, and armor in real terms has a closer effect to +2 on defense than just +1, as has been noted by people who have developed on the game like J-Monster. So that's a lot of defense that you get, especially for a shock infantry unit as well. But yeah, I mean, Isengard is fun to play as, I suppose, because it's very iconic, isn't it? The Uruk-hai. These Orc defenders are going to get destroyed, I would imagine, as soon as all of these dwarven boys actually get into the... Right, let's stop messing around, shall we? Let's form up, and then we'll start shooting at them. It's all well and good having a really solid, dependable line. Actually, these are the Erebor, Axguard of Erebor that don't have the armor upgrade, because Gimli has got like the full plate because he starts with the upgraded armor. This is just the basic version with, to be fair, still very heavy armor. But yeah, we probably want you lads actually to hold your fire just for a moment, because you would be best used against the mountain guard. You shoot at them, and you shoot at them. Give them a volley. I heard Galu wanted to make the Uruk-hai infantry pikes and crossbows even better in version 5. I think that would be fine as long as the Orc men and the Uruk-hai raiders were maybe reined in a little bit. Because otherwise all you're doing is basically giving some factions all of the love and other factions not enough. I liked the idea they had about Mordor having a kind of a similar conscription system to the Ardenium, albeit with the evil units more generally. Right, and now you can shoot at them, as can you. Yeah, this is glorious scenes here. I like the idea that, I think it was Izzy, wasn't it, who had the, recommended that Mordor have a script not dissimilar to the one that the Wood Elves are going to have, where you get to confederate essentially with Dol Guldur. Because at the moment, you lose essentially 3 Nazgul as Mordor because Dol Guldur get them. Which is a little bit little bit disheartening, especially seeing as one of them is arguably the best one in Kamul. As much as I like custom Dwarven maps, they're kind of easy to assault against the AI. Good to defend on as well, because you have most of them boil down to just the one choke, which is somewhat easy to deal with. Yeah, Dane and his boys carving through Orc defenders with consummate ease. Get you in there. We want to shoot the mountain guard as well. There we go. And we'll just shoot into the side of these Orc defenders, I think. Probably best, actually. We're probably going to get more friendly fire at this stage, so you guys can cease fire. That's a good arc of fire, actually. You're getting drawn into melee, aren't you? That's a bit of a... It's a bit awkward, if I'm being honest. You can go this way as well. Get some of our mattocks into play. Hey there, Calvin. Hope that they don't do that. In my campaigns, the Dunedain was a pain fighting Isengard, even with my axe throwers and steel bowmen. Yeah, I mean, it needs to coincide, I think, with a reduction in the power of the Orcmen and the Uruk-hai Raiders. Like, their lower quality units need to be made more basic.
The enemy are badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
Yeah, throw those axes in there, boys. Those Orc defenders are going to get destroyed. Erebor infantry taking a bit of damage, but I would assume a lot of that has to do with the fact that these guys are over there like so. Actually, you know what? You go over here. We'll get the mattocks into melee against these lads. Throw a volley into the mountain guard. Have I missed anything important? No, not really. There was a rather slow-paced battle, which was kind of a pain. But other than that, we're now retaking Dane's Halls.
Our men have taken control of the castle.
Do we have... You get over here. Dwarves are quite remarkably slow, aren't they? But at least they're hardy. And my mattocks should be of good help there to this unit of Erebor infantry. Right, mountain guard. Shoot them if you please. Yeah, Erebor infantry. Erebor infantry is not like an amazing unit, I have to say. Like, they're just sort of... They'll get the job done, but... They will probably be more useful, actually, in melee against the mountain guard. So where are they? Is there any of them left? 25. Okay.
My lord, we have lost control of the castle.
Yeah, just get into melee. They're working on a Reunited Kingdom script. Yeah, that'll be another like really big script for the Northern Dunedain, which is decent. Okay, yeah, at this point it's just a case of finish them off. Erebor infantry really took a lot of heat there again. That mountain guard is really, really dominant in the fight against the Erebor infantry. Maybe as you'd expect, but most of it was Orc defenders as well, so it's a little bit underwhelming, I have to say, from my my dwarven workhorses on the front line. Right, there's their general. He was a named general as well, wasn't he? So his demise will be satisfying. Yeah, when we're on the defence though, like we should be. Obviously, that is where the dwarves are at their very best. Look at this guy, in and amongst all of these dwarves. He's trying to get away as well. He's a tall lad, isn't he? Next to all of these stout Durin's folk. I'd like to get more of these Erebor axe throwers because they can hold their own in melee. They're slightly worse than the standard Erebor infantry, but that damage they can do is probably really worthwhile for us. Especially in a settlement like this, if we can set up a nice engagement, maybe outside even, we can really do the business against them. I'm surprised that these Axe Guard of Erebor are not having more of a notable impact on this man, or orc. Ah, he's probably gonna kill this poor axe thrower now. Let's see if we can get. Can we bring this guy down? There he goes. No matter. Victory enough. It's hard to get those really nice ratios as the dwarves because you simply do not have the. You have to get involved in the scrap. And Gundabad are not exactly found wanting most of the time in there. Erebor infantry did some decent damage, to be fair, mostly against orc defenders, I would imagine. Gimli arrived, but it was to no avail. We did not need him in the end. Right. Because I'm probably going to have a garrison in here for quite a long time, I probably won't exterminate the populace. We'll try and get some good value out of this settlement. What happened with the Erebor infantry? I assume it was just the mountain guard. Can't have been the orc defenders. Surely not. Orc defenders are garbage. Hey there, Matt. We've got Dane and Gimli on hand. Is that Gundabad General there? It will occupy the settlement. Look, Gimli was not too far away from a bit of a problematic situation arising for him. Anyway, what sort of situation we got here? Yeah, we got a good dwarven culture here, so I'm glad we didn't actually exterminate. Huge mining complex already in place, so we should be able to recruit some units fairly soon. An armory would probably be a good idea. Actually, probably a pipe hall, because we don't have the ability to actually recruit any units yet, do we? It's only 2 turns as well. We're going to get attacked before the armory comes into play anyway, so we will go for the pipe hall. There's this guy, but we should be able to deal with him, especially with more units on the way to defend. March to your limit. You haven't even moved this turn. There'll be no laziness allowed here. Right, another road could be a good idea here, just so we can move back and forth more quickly. Master Stoneworkers Hall. Yeah, we'll go with that. Roads being built. Erebor is making more money now that there is a market in place. Do we have... That's really quite tempting, but yeah, we'll go with another Master Stoneworkers Hall. We're going to need to start... Erebor, we're going to be constantly building stuff out, so it makes sense to get as much as we can out of that as quickly as we can. So yeah, we'll build some more units here. Those units that we sent across from Kirit Cathol are the only ones that are going to go across. We're going to keep building up a garrison there, just in case Rune have been quick. Check to see if there's useless building in Dane's Halls. That's a good point. There probably is a fighter's pit, isn't there? Avengers Guild. Yeah, we need to get rid of that, because that is what gives them arguably one of their best, well, not arguably, one of their best units against us. The Orc Avengers post-barracks event. We want to be getting rid of that. Bolgs Hall. No. Garrison Quarters, that's fine. Dirt Paths, Mining Network. Hunting Hut, yeah, the rest of it's fine, but bit of extra coin, never hurt anyone. Right, Bomber, you need to get rolling. Ooh, Dunland have taken that, so they're actually on Bree's doorstep. But we'll be going down here. We could get a... I mean, I guess the Dunlanders, the dwarves, wouldn't mind too much. Angmar have got more of a dark reputation. Dunland are just kind of some barbarian lads in the hills. Dark Lord of Mordor territory nearby. The Dark Lord of Mordor is up here, which is why it's relatively nearby. He has a town called Forodwaith, and he just sits up there because it's what allows them to keep doing their invasion scripts without it being like stoppable, basically. So he's off the map up here. You can't reach him, obviously, but it's one of those workarounds that they did to to make that whole system work as it does. Right, he won't make it in one turn, so we'll have reinforcements in Witherboard, which should be enough to deal with things there. We can get another unit of Erebor axe throwers on the go. You love to see it. Right, so trait increase. King Dane, the liberator of Dane's halls. That's good. Path blocked by Bomber, we don't care about that. Enemy army routes. War declared between Moria and the Anduin. That's not bad actually, because it means Anduin will be somewhat occupied and they won't be able to go after Gundabad directly. We'll keep an eye on things down here though, just to see what the Anduin are doing. Recruitment report, we've already handled that. Got a market in a practice range. Marvellous. Yeah, it's the Papal States one. I don't know why there are two Woodland Realm diplomats just facing each other up here. Ah, good, they're actually moving. Good that they're actually doing something. Dane's Halls is already making us a decent amount of money. I know that Dane himself is in there and he's got some good traits for that, but that's why I didn't want to exterminate the populace if I could at all help it. I might actually take my diplomat and try and get an alliance with Anduin at this point, because I would quite like it if there was no inter-wars between all of the people that I want to keep on the same side. So we'll get Beorn and his boys an alliance, an Axe Smith's Guild in... Yeah, I mean, we've got money to spare, and Dane's Halls probably will be a place where we're going to be doing an awful lot. We'll be investing quite heavily in it. Right, so yeah, that's our spy. Our diplomat is here as well. How do you feel about an alliance? I mean, I ain't gonna pay you for it. There we go. Good. Alliance announced with the Anduin Vale, and we've got perfect relations with them as well. Right, we've got Kirit Cathol building up another garrison. We've got an Orikani clan hall over there. At this point, it might be worth our while actually to make this, to pivot a little bit more to economy, so that we can... Ballista probably not all that important. Let's go for... I mean, probably it makes sense to go for another one of those, to be honest, because we're going to be building a lot in Kirit Cathol as well. Dark Lord of Mordor as a faction. I wanted desperately to conquest the Dark Lord of Mordor's town. Well, you can. And it's probably for the best you can't, really, because there's not really much... There wouldn't be much of a challenge in it. It's just one town out in the wastes. Right, so this guy has just sort of stood there. That's not a terrible force. We've got Ishmals and some Axe Boys. Right, you into Witherboard. Still can't retrain units from there. You head up here. We can actually get some Durin's Guard. That probably wouldn't be a bad idea, actually, because we kind of need another general. And there doesn't seem to be any forthcoming just in the natural sense of things. So we'll go up here a little bit. Right. I can't really leave Dane's Halls because there's enemies on both sides of it. If we could maybe go out and kill this individual. Charming facial expression that he has. Could we get out and get back in again? Would be my question to me. For economy, it's most cost efficient to get the mining complexes before anything else. Yeah, they're quite expensive though, so I'm going to get the and also take a long time to build, so it makes sense I think to go for the building reduction costs and time buildings first. I do want to go after this man. I want him gone, but could we get back in? I mean, what if we were to go out with a force which is relatively even in terms of the numbers with his? That would be interesting if we sent maybe Gimli out to do that. So if we maybe go out here, we don't want it to be overpowering this force, we just want to be able to convince him that it's in his best interest to actually fight us.
Aye. Joining our forces.
We'll keep the axe throwers in here just in case of disaster. We just want to go for a full archer force, maybe.
Gonna stick you.
I mean, their scouts are going to rip us apart at range, though, so no, we don't really.
Aye, sir.
He's got 5 units, so if we go for maybe 6, yeah, the Axe Guard of Erebor will be
Forward.
really, really good. So a couple more units, maybe just a couple of the regular Erebor boys.
Onward.
Yeah, he's going to go for it. Good. Good, 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 because then we can get back into Dane's halls. Right, what's he actually got? Oh, it's 2 generals. That's less thrilling, because that's going to be 2 units of mountain guard who are strong. But we have the ranged advantage. We've got 2 archers to his 1. We've got throwing axes, and our basic infantry will deal with his snow orcs. Yeah, let's go for it. Then we could even start moving up from... Well, I don't want to take any more settlements, because I think if I take another settlement from Gundabad, the Doomstack triggers, and we're not ready for that just yet. Ooh. Well, well, well. This map is a bit of a feast for the eyes, isn't it? I'm not entirely sure where they're going to deploy, to be honest with you. Can we even get down from here? Is this one of those weird situations where I can't even get down? Well, we'll have to wait and see. They should deploy up here, really, if they have any sort of self-preservation instincts at all. We're going to go right up here into this corner. Gimli going to use his throwing axes. Right, we're going to have to take our time here, definitely, with this one. And then the Erebor boys, who have been, thus far, sacrificial lambs to the slaughter. I mean, maybe we can just... Yeah, I could have brought the Dalian cavalry, I suppose, but I kind of like the... Well, the Dalian cavalry is more integral to... Okay, so there they are. Yeah, the cavalry would have been super useful, actually, here, wouldn't it? I have failed. Right, so... Yeah, weird. I think the AI's looked at this map and gone, this is peculiar. We do want to be careful of Gimli here, because the Mountain Guard are no joke. Like, they will do damage to us if we permit them to. But we're constantly going to have the high ground here. High ground OP, regardless of where they go to as well, unless they decide to go all the way around, which I would not put it beyond the AI to attempt such shenanigans. We have no choice but to allow them to do that either, because we're so slow as dwarfs. Slow boys. Our Northman archers aren't slow though, so they can actually get into place and potentially shoot them. Yeah, actually we can shoot them from here, can't we? What to go after? Let's see if you can't shoot them actually. You go down there. Yeah, they're just going to run for the hills, I guess. Ah, they've turned around, I think. They now see the error of their ways. Potentially we're going to need Gimli and his crew. It's quite a thematic battle, this, on the steep slopes. It's just a little bit of a weird one. Right, these are Mountain Guard, aren't they? You're not going to do any damage to Mountain Guard. Well, depending on position, you might actually. I'd rather we can leave the Mountain Guard, I think, for our axe throwers to deal with. Yeah, you need to run. On maps like this, it's always super awkward to tell where is passable terrain and where isn't. Most of the time in multiplayer, if you see something like this, you can't go up it. But in In DAC, that is not the case. It is quite possible. Shoot into the back of them, actually. Go after the Orc fighters. Right. You actually go over here, because I think just one unit of you... We'll leave you back here just in case that mountain guard does decide to come up here and we need to buy time. We should be doing lots of damage, lots of juicy damage. Yeah, those Orc fighters are dying in droves. Snow Orc spears are going to die as well. Oh yeah, kill them. Baruch Khazad indeed. Right, you're in range apparently, so can you please throw your axes? That would be jolly nice. Right, just get into a shape. Did you do what Arya said to Samarin before plucking his eyes out? Do you know? No, I don't know. Come on, throw your axes. Actually, yeah, we need you to get into melee. Those Snow Orc scouts are in range. There we go. Look, that's what I like to see. They do have actual generals in this stack, so I mean that is... Snow Orc spears. Yeah, they can keep shooting at them. They've taken a lot of damage already. Kill them off. That's where the Snow Orcs do come a little bit unstuck. So yeah, they're going up that way actually, so it's probably for the best we... Right. Yeah, you actually can move over to here now. What are you doing? I guess you're using your axes at the very least. Ripping and tearing your way through them with reckless abandon. Okay. You can move back here now. Yeah, they are coming up this way. Right, so that's it with regards to... Right, Snow Orc spears should probably not be able to defeat our Erebor infantry here. And we want to keep our axe guard for the mountain guard. So, happy to keep them as is. Snow Orc scouts are going to do very little in the way of damage with their morale and the like. Right, you actually need to sprint, otherwise you're not going to be able to get into the right position. Those Orc fighters are there. This unit actually we probably do need to move back up here because of the advance of a healthy unit of mountain guardsmen. I'm not convinced with this kind of engagement. Cavalry probably, it would have been useful, but it's kind of awkward terrain. Like charges would have been quite difficult going uphill. Right, yeah, those are mountain guard now, so get in there, Gimli. Roll in, my boy. Finish them off. Right, what can we do? We can shoot into them. They are on the way, so again we need to get into a shape. Yeah, but this is good so far. And those Orc fighters are absolutely woeful when they're under arrow fire, so we're going to carve our way through them with our Oricani brethren. I do like the look of them. They're basic, but there's an art to making a sort of more simplistic unit look nice. And they've got a good shot as well, so they're going to carve their way through them. Gimli is not taking much in the way of losses at all. Mountain Guard are getting ripped to shreds. You can roll forwards like that. They're going to get killed as well. Do we need... A lot of our units are a little bit tired. But we'll wait to pop Gimli's special ability, because in the long run that can actually be a little bit more of a problem for us. There we go. Right, we want to get a charge into them. We'll try and get in behind them, I guess, with the Northman archers as well. It's probably a really terrible idea to... Right, yeah, you... Yeah, we are going to get a charge of sorts into them. And you can continue to shoot at them. They're routing and broken. You can stay in shape just in case they do come back from routing. And the mountain guard over here, defeat seems certain. I would really appreciate if the whole unit... I don't like it when infantry charges in like that. It's a problem shock infantry does tend to have in Med 2. They're so much more effective when they go in as a huge unit. There we go, that's a little bit more like it, boys. Stiff-beard archers still in range of them. That's pretty impressive. And... yeah, they're routing, or they're looking like they could break. Yeah, the Axe Guard of Erebor are definitely the best unit that we can train in terms of looks early on. I wonder what you think though. Axe Guard of Erebor or Sons of the Fallen for a better looking unit? Especially with the full plate of Gimli's unit over here. I think it's a close run thing. I'd be tempted to give it to the Axe Guard, honestly. Because the armour in terms of the helmet shape and everything is really rather similar. Right, this might be enough to finish them off. Yeah, sure, why not? One Snow Orc spear lives to tell the tale. They probably won't rout until... I want that general dead if at all possible. Because he didn't fall, did he? We only killed one general, unless I'm very much mistaken. They're going to fight to the death, so that'll be over with in short order. Is that him? I don't know what the... I think the generic... I guess he must have died. I guess maybe I'm just losing my damn mind. Hey there, Kadar. 30 losses. That's very good in that situation, I think. 2 units of mountain guard can be nasty in melee. Very nasty. But it was not such a big problem for us. And now we can get Gimli back into that settlement, and even if they siege us, we shouldn't have too much of a problem. If they siege us from the back end of the settlement, we might even win via time limit, which is not maybe the most satisfying way to win things, but they could try and siege us down completely, I suppose, but yeah, we're not a bit of extra cash from destroying them. Lovely. Right, and you, yeah, you can make it back in easily. And I think that's pretty much everything. Faction announcements, retinue expands, Gimli, mining income. Gloin has got Thror's Key, and King Dane has got the title of Liberator of Dane's Halls with all of the bells and whistles that come along with that. Right, so I want to keep those in Onazanar for now because they're getting free upkeep. It's always nice to have more money. These guys are not getting free upkeep, however, but I do want to retrain the Iron Hills Metocs before potentially moving them forward. It's a little bit of it's an interesting situation, this, because with this small captain stack I could move forward and take Rakyaburg. In so doing, I reduce Gundabad to 3 settlements though, and I think that is sufficient to give them a doom stack, which I'm not quite ready for yet. We will need more. Right, so that is as much free upkeep as I think we can get from Kirit Gathol. So we've got Town Guard, Pub, Pig Farm, where are we? So, Orikani Clan Hall. Right, so we got 1 free upkeep from that, 2 free upkeep from the huge city. Whatever, anyway, it doesn't matter. Like, we probably won't be training much more in terms of units over in Kirit Gathol for the time being. And we are well stocked everywhere else for things to be getting along with, and we will be able to train up some basic units soon from Dane's Halls. Units on the ground. Right, did we move Bomber this turn? I think we did, didn't we? No, we didn't. Good to know. Right, we're going to go this way because... Can we... Are they going to allow us through Tharbad? Not sure if they will. The nearest crossing is probably somewhere down here, isn't it? Well, we'll see what the deal with that is next turn. And our spy, seeing as our diplomat's here, we can park you there and get some visibility on Mount Gundabad next turn. We're not going to be expanding east, Calvin. I mentioned at the start, the reason why I've abandoned the plan to do that is because I would quite like Rune to actually grow and become something we actually fight later on. If I expand east, I think they won't do that. They might not do that anyway. Like, we saw Dorwinion beat them on their own twice before. But I want to give Rune the opportunity to become a late game threat. Because if we don't, the late game threat, we're going to have to go out and look for it ourselves, and it will probably end up being Mordor again. Hey there, Meran. Could really do with some more generals at this point. I mean, it's not an absolute necessity, but it would be nice to be able to leave some generals in some of these bigger settlements. What are Mirkwood doing? Don't be trying to weasel out of this. Don't be trying to get a truce with Gundabad. Thranduil, I've noticed in all of the campaigns that I've watched, he does seem to go for those weird agreements more so than others. I know that it's probably just randomly, but in Windy's campaign, or someone's campaign anyway, I can't remember whose it was, they've got like an alliance with Rune, which is weird. Bizarre scenes. Gundabad not wanting to move forward, they're just parking their armies there, not fancying their chances. Right, let's see here. War declared between Dale and Dol Guldur. Good. That's exactly what we want to see. Dale, do your thing. Tear Dol Guldur asunder if the elves cannot. Construction complete a pike pole in Dane's Hall. So can we construct units immediately? 11 turns until we can construct them. Fair play. I think probably an armory would be suitable next, actually. Yeah, Stoneworkers Hall. That will be, it's very cheap, and it will help us out in that regard long term. Recruitment report, we've got units retrained. What's going on here? We've got some fraudulence happening, haven't we? Why are we retraining stuff? Well, we've got, I guess, oh yeah, we can retrain. Wait, no, that's the unit that's already full, isn't it? That's the unit we want, which in the next 2 turns we can actually retrain them, and that would be nice. It's go time. Right, so we're already building something. I don't think there's actually much we can do this turn, to be honest, is there? I mean, there's a few units we can potentially shimmy around. You move forwards. Erebor axe throwers. You can go down here. Going the northern end of the mountains is ill-advised when there's this roving army, especially with little captain stacks that we're trying to replenish with. We can start recruiting more infantry from back here. 3 turns until them, 3 turns, 5 turns until some more stiffbeards, or stonefoot spearmen I should say. Same thing for the stiffbeards though. There's quite a few turns actually before the rest of them are available, so we will just go for another sneaky unit of Erebor infantry as well, because we're going to be sending stacks this way. And yeah, we need to wait until these units have arrived, and then... If I can keep an eye on... I'm keeping an eye on this area over here. If it turns out that... I mean, Gundabad is reasonably open. I would want to blitz Gundabad down though, so I'd want a ballista. So it might be one of those moments where we just... Oh, it is. They are letting us through Tharbad. That's very nice of the Dunlanders. In fact, for passage, how about trade rights?
You hold us at ransom, and you know that there is something.
Why do I hold you at ransom? I'm the dwarves. I've got...
Goodbye.
Well, they weren't too pleased about that, but you know what? Screw them. They should be overjoyed that dwarves are willing to trade with savages such as themselves. But apparently not. Apparently I hold them at ransom. Some people are just never satisfied, are they? Okay. I just want to see what this army's going to do. Is it going to go back this way, or is it going to push on in this direction? If it is, then we'll have to sort of reorganise for a defence of Ornazanar. If it comes down here to attack Dane's Halls, I'm not worried at all. If it goes backwards, then we can start laying the groundwork for just running through the enemy territory and going after Mount Gundabad. Because Rakyaberg, like, it's not worth taking Rakyaberg and triggering the Doom Stack for that. It probably is worth taking Gundabad to trigger the Doom Stack, though. It's risky to do that, though. It's like it's a play where you can potentially end an enemy faction with one alpha strike, or it ends up costing you a lot of time and resources in the long run. We'll see which it is. As soon as we've got maybe a trade deal with Enidwaith, we can... I don't think we ever got a trade deal with Lothlorien, did we? Because we actually turned around before we made it to Caras Galadon. So Bomber can make his circuit of Eriador and the eastern side of the Misty Mountains, and maybe get some deals going with Rohan and with Lorien as well. Dale prospers. Shafts of arrows litter the lands of Rovanion. Trumpets can be heard ringing across the plains, and banners wave high on the hills as the hatred for evil leads the men of Dale onward toward unbelievable conquest. The defence of their homeland, that was just a first spark that has caught alight into a great flame, and the armies of Dale and the Lake seem unrelenting as they pursue those who stand against them. Marching ever onwards, their force seems unstoppable, and those foolish enough to oppose them lay dead with the memory of 1,000 whistling arrows on their lips. It seems nothing can stop their expansion. So that's bad news for Rune and Dol Guldur, I think. So, good on Dale. The One Ring has been located, and it is as far away as possible in our old stomping ground of Umbar. So yeah, that's not really something. Maybe when the ring moves from there and it spawns in another place, we can think about going after it and dealing with Sauron in that manner. But perhaps not for the time being. That army is just straight up sitting there. Strange decision. Right. You can move onwards. We can't quite retrain. Yeah, so next turn we'll be able to retrain this unit with some weapon upgrades. And we're not going to get any... Yeah, so you can just keep rolling forwards. Erebor infantry. Actually, you're getting free upkeep there, aren't you? Yeah, we'll leave that for the time being. Durin's Guard. That's actually, I think, worth it. I think we want another general at this point so that we can put him in a defensive position, whether it's in Dane's Halls when we start to move forward with our big force, or whether it's in Ornazanar so that we can start getting the most out of some of these areas over here. Mission failed. No one cares about Angmar. Witherboard, Mattox retrained. That's weapon strength. Dorwinion is at war with Dol Guldur, and Enidwaith is allies with Gondor. Good news for the Gondorians. I keep forgetting how large Enidwaith actually is, because it's just such a nothing region in the lore, really. I'm willing to give you map information, actually. You're so far away. Just nice to have all of the people on side. Right. Bombor can start moving. Actually, he needs to go down this way, doesn't he? There's the Dunland capital. And then Lorien. I mean, we're much more likely to have a border with Lorien at some stage. Goblin Town is potentially not a terrible target for us long term, but Gundabad first and foremost, I think. Right. We're not getting free upkeep on any of these units either, really. So yeah, I guess we just keep moving forwards. There's nothing really to stop us doing this sort of thing. We need to retrain those Mattox, and those are getting free upkeep. We've got some roads on the way as well. And that is everything, really. Still quite a long way until we can train any of these guys up. We may as well, actually. This is weapon strength, isn't it? Attack. May as well do it. Give us that extra bite. Okay. Yeah, this is just progressing slowly but surely. Again, when we march behind enemy lines and try to take Gundabad out, things are going to get really very quickly, I think. There goes the dog, barking once more. Looks like Enedwaith are doing their thing in the typical power struggle that happens in South Eriador. Dol Guldur is besieged, so I don't think we're going to be seeing Dol Guldur do much of anything in this campaign if they're already getting pushed back to their capital. We'll see if Lorien, possibly Lorien, well, I'd assume it's Lorien, they're the only ones close enough this early to be doing that, surely. They want me to take Rakyaburg. What's your next target? No, Rakyaburg isn't my next target. What my next target is going to be, because I'm pretty sure at 3 settlements, Gundabad will get a Doomstack, so what I'm going to try and do is form up a reasonably strengthened army, like as close to a banner army as I can, and get to Gundabad and take that. Well, maybe I do take Rakyaburg, to be honest. Maybe I just trigger the Doomstack. It's risky, very risky to be doing such things. Erebor, Onazanar and Dane's Halls have got something that we can build now. And for this one, I think it will be worth our while probably to go for an armory, right? Rakani Clan Halls. No, yeah, we will go for an armory because it will give us a militia garrison. You go there. This is a pretty decent little captain stack. They could come out and meet us, because we don't have any ranged units. That would be a real pain in the rear, to be honest with you. But we'll see what they do. We'll see what they do. Yulstone is kind of rich settlement. Vale might beat you to it. I don't care about Yulstone, to be honest. Mount Gundabad is what I care about. Like, as long as I get everything along the Grey Mountains and Mount Gundabad and Bulzakar or Baluzakar, I don't care about anything else, because Gundabad gives me arguably the single best unit I can train, so I'm not going to be happy if the Anduin get it. What if you give Rakyaburg to Anduin? You can keep the mountain settlements. I mean, I might do that. It kind of depends. If I can keep it, then I will. But we'll have to see. Erebor, yes. A mining network, which, yeah, we definitely want that. More gold. And Onazanar. Build another unit of Mattocks, which we will want to do if we're going to be triggering the Doomstack soon. That's something we definitely want to do. Yeah, the Hammers of Gundabad are brutal. Arguably the best unit of shock infantry in the game as of 4.5. Depending on what exactly you're looking for out of your shock infantry. We want this. Pig farm. It's very cheap, very quick to build. And there's not really anything in terms of a mine. Well, I guess we can actually build a mining network. The road is tempting. Growth, growth, growth. It's so cheap that you've got to go for it, I think. And Witherboard, next turn we'll have... Oh yes, that's a good point. We can now retrain you, and we can recruit you. And then we can start sending them forward as well. So I think we're pretty much set. I think Gimli will probably be the one to lead a mighty force. Onazanar. What we really want actually as well, I think, we'll get you up. Start moving you on. We don't need to worry about free upkeep, to be honest. We're not one of these factions which is going to struggle for money ever unless we lose the centre of our regions. Will you go for Goblin Town? You can get Sons of the Fallen. So that's where you get Sons of the Fallen, is it? I knew you got them from somewhere. I didn't know where you'd get them. I mean, ideally I want as many of the mountain territories as we can. The T-shape that runs through Middle-earth could all end up in our hands, but obviously if Khazad-dûm beat Moria, then we're not going to go to war with our own kin just for the promise of Mithril. And where are we? Yes, Bombur. You start heading down here. Nope, keep moving. Rohan. We may have a border with them at some stage. You never know. Having long territories like this means we... takes a little while. Rakyaburg has got a bit of... Maybe Rakyaburg is the place to go next. We don't need to run down Gundabad. At the end of the day, I could make so much money I just buy Gundabad back from the Anduin if they actually dare to take it. You can get West Khazad-dûm, the Goblin Zone. By the time I get down there, Evac, Khazad-dûm will have either won or lost, I think. You can recruit Sons of the Fallen as mercenaries near Goblin Town. Oh right, that's pretty cool. The mercenary system is a little bit weird in DAC though, so I wouldn't pin too many of my hopes on that happening. I would be interested to see what the Gundabad Doomstack does. Even if it ravages Anduin, it could weaken itself substantially before it comes for us. But it's stuff like Bolg's Champions. They're the worst nightmare of any stout-hearted dwarf. We don't really have an equivalent of them in our faction at all, even with our very best stuff. That's right, leave. Run for the hills. Might not even need to move our garrison from Dane's Halls. Rumours from Ered Luin. Rumours now fly across Middle-earth that a messenger of Mordor has approached Ered Luin with an offer, claiming Barad-dûr is willing to return the 3 surviving Dwarven Rings of Power to Ered Luin in exchange for friendship between the Blue Mountains and the Mountains of Shadow. The High Elves have sent an envoy to advise the Clan Lord to remain loyal to the Free Peoples, but only time will tell what the Clan Lord's decision will be. What did I miss? Just finished dinner? Not too much, but this has a huge bearing potentially on how the campaign goes. If Ered Luin turn evil, it will be upon us to punish our treacherous kin. You make me want to fire up DAC again, but I'm so hyped for version 5, don't want to potentially ruin it. Version 5 is like a year away, dude, so I mean, it's not as if it's right around the corner. Right then. Are they... I'm not sure if they're actually in range, it's a finicky thing. Right, what was I going to do? Ah, yes, construction. Master Stoneworkers Hall in Kirik Gathol, which should mean we will move right on with building a big old mine. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Mining network it will be. And recruitment report. Erebor infantry, Mattocks. Yes. Superb. They can move forward. We are 1 turn away, I believe, from getting another general, which indeed we are. Another unit of Dale Cavalry would not go amiss. You can go into... The Gundabad Doomstack might go down this way, but I mean, even if it does, doesn't matter too much. We'll get you into Witherboard for the time being. As for you, I hope that you're not in the way of preventing us from taking this place. I don't think cavalry would actually be terribly useful in a defence here, so what we're going to do, Gimli will once again go forth with the cavalry this time. All of the axe throwers can remain in this settlement. I mean, they've only got 1 unit to leave, and it's a unit of terrible orc fighters. How much free... Oh yeah, we've got plenty of free upkeep. Okay. Well, what we'll do, we'll go for a couple units of archers as well. And then with that and with that, we should have enough, I would imagine. Let's get you into place. Oh, we can assault it immediately, eh? Okay. Let's save it then. Right, this I think is Gundabad Doomstack time, so this could be a horrid decision by me. But let's do it anyway. Is this... Okay, yeah, so the fighters are in reinforcement range, but I could not give less of a damn about them. They've got 1 unit of archers, so yeah, we've got the ranged advantage, most certainly. Okay. Okay. Gonna be an interesting one, this. But we can't really afford to just hold back forever against Gundabad just to avoid their Doomstack, because orcs can produce so quickly that they will have like full stacks of units regardless of what we do anyway. Hello, Ji1. Gundabad Doomstack is when they get down to 2 settlements. At least that's what happened in Galu's version 5 campaign. Oh, it's one of these settlements as well. Well, this is actually even better because we can... The AI generally does a really slapdash job of defending themselves in a situation like this. be tempted to put these boys all in our ranged contingent. You can go over there. And what else do we want? Right, so from this side, we want to be a little bit careful. We don't want to get too close. I wonder where their reinforcements are going to come from as well, but we can probably deal with them just with our cav, actually, now that I think of it. It's a unit of orc fighters, we can charge them into the dirt. Labourers can go over that side as well. The rest of our infantry force, which is everything we see there, can be in a group. Gimli himself has got his throwing weapons as well, but if need be, we'll need to get him into melee pretty quick. It's because of that transition image, now your stream will become age restricted. Nah, it'd be fine.
The enemy have brought up more men. They hope to make up in numbers what they lack.
It's artistic, it's not smut. Not that YouTube care about that, generally speaking. You can go up there. You can go like so. And you can go on the edge here. Hopefully they decide not to attack outwards. Right, these labourers are the closest thing we have to disposable unit. And they can just roll forwards ever so slightly. Oh yeah, we've got these Iron Hills Mattocks as well. Lovely. One of the children of Hurin. Poor Hurin. Hurin deserved better. I like the Gambesons here. Men of Dale, who are apparently doing very well themselves. Name a more iconic duo. Yeah, they're shooting at us. You can see the difference that 5% movement speed makes is really stark, actually, when you look at it like that. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it actually really is. Right, and you actually probably need to... what are we... Right, so you're in position, so what are you actually going to fire at? There are Orc Hunters, Mountain Guard, which you won't do much damage to, so... You may as well shoot in there, actually. It's a big enough blob that it's probably worth your time. Right. So... yeah, you get into place. Maybe it would have been better, actually, to move these Mattocks over to this side. Are they going to move out there? Wouldn't mind that at all, to be honest with you, because it gives me the opportunity to use Gimli's throwing axes. Right then. Who's moving? Axe throwers, actually, we will go after the Mountain Guard with you, because you actually will do some good damage to them. You can put the archers in that hill. We are on that hill. Could be better, could be worse. Snow Orc Raiders. They're not actually firing back at us now, so actually, yeah, you can go after them because they're in a better position for you to shoot. Yeah, there we go. Loads of damage. Right. Charge into them. You've got a perfect charge. So much room. The thing about dwarves is since they are short, their stride distance is lower, which is why their move speed is lower, even if they're at 100%. Yeah. So they're even slower than that, I suppose, but... Right. They're not actually going to move out, are they? They're just going to be content to sit here and take the beating that we're prepared to dish out. Which I am extremely happy about. Mountain Guard. Yeah, just shoot at them then. You can shoot at them. They're extremely damaged at this stage, so you can go after the Raiders. Right. How much damage did that charge do? Eh. I guess for a unit that big, they did actually do a fair amount of damage. Right. There we go. Slow and steady wins the race as the dwarves. You can get into position there. They're just going to let us use all of our missiles. Hurin is one of those cases of a brave but stupid man. Yeah, but he had a good heart, Hurin. I think a lot of the problem that a lot of the early men had is that they just didn't really understand what they were getting into a lot of the time. Yeah, we are going to be in a good place, I think, if they're just going to sit there and allow us to do this. Right, it's really annoying when a unit does that, because they're stretched out now. So I can't really charge into them properly because the unit, the way that it registers it is all kinds of weird when that sort of thing happens. Yes, indeed, it is in fact go time. At this point. Where are the mountain guard? There they are. Oh, you can't even get them. Okay, fine. You just keep firing at them. Go after the orc hunters. Are they going to try and come out here to use their jabbies on me? I think they probably are. Okay then. Kill them. Bold of them to go out there as well with their general. Nobody bothered to educate them really. No, I guess not. Hurin is one of... yeah. Okay, yeah. Those are orc hunters as well, so they're going to get absolutely butchered. I mean, Gimli should be able to... I want them to come out so Gimli and the boys can throw their axes in there and surround them.
If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
They're going to try and push their way through. They'd be damn lucky to make it. Actually, you're out of ammunition as well, so make sure they can't get to our axe throwers. It's really nice having a unit of early tier shock infantry that's capable of dishing out some good AP damage. AP's not important against orc hunters, obviously, but... Right, actually, you can go over here now, can't you? Right, Gimli, my boy. Yeah, we probably want the Mattocks to come forward as well, because it is the mountain guard. Get surprised when men buy into Melkor's lies. Yeah. The elves are too passive, I think, in Tolkien's verse. Like, they're clearly very wise, but like, there's a certain responsibility, I think, that the elves kind of shirk a lot in the lore. Like, they are the oldest and the wisest race, so like, it is on them to a certain extent to help everyone else a bit. I mean, I suppose that is kind of harsh as well, considering what they have done. But I don't know. Controversial takes, I suppose. Right, those orc hunters probably going to lose a few Northman archers here. But yeah, can we actually move forward more quickly than this, please? There we go. Right, those orc fighters at this point should be dying, and then we can actually charge into the main body of the unit without any, with less issues, we shall say. Right, snow orc raiders are going to come out. They're going to try and go after the archers again, aren't they? Damn them. Okay. Iron Hills Mattocks. Ah, hello there. Right. Are they still... There's still an orc alive in there. Go on, kill him. There we go. That's what I like to see. Now you get into position over here and get ready to slam into those orcs from the side. Those orc hunters are getting absolutely eviscerated. Love everything about it. As are they. Right, these stone foot boys, no, stiff beards, should move over that way now. Yeah, we lost a few Northman archers there, which is a bit of a shame, but we need, well, it is what it is. The AI will do as it does.
The enemy are badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
Gimli, is there a better target for you? Not really. Let's Erebor infantry go that way.
Good tidings. The enemy
Ah, good.
is dead. We have set. Look how our cowardly foe.
Okay, so yeah, that's them breaking. So we can kill them in their entirety. How about some fighting, he says. I suppose that's true, Tancred. Yeah, throw into them. Where are the mountain guard at this point? Oh, they're all the way over there. We're going to do a good amount of damage there. Basic unit, but just softening them up nicely. Oop. Don't go into them. Those are spears. I'm surprised these orc hunters are still alive and kicking. There's one of them left. Actually, you know what? No. You come down here. You get into place as well. Right, orc defenders are moving. You can go over there. Start bombarding the TC. Gimli. Oh. Right, Stonefoot spears can go over here, I guess. Actually, you can go in there. You can get ready to attack the mountain guard because it will be required at some stage. Dale cavalry is so bad when you play as Dale, but godlike when you are Erebor. Strange. I assume that's because when the anvil is as strong as it is when you're playing as the dwarves, the hammer doesn't necessarily need to be a sledgehammer. You can get away with a ball-peen hammer. Or something like that. Right. We don't want our archers taking any more losses. They can just sort of sit here quite happily. Right, are they still... This little group of archers is still doing its thing, so just kill them off, would you? Right. Interesting. We could, I think, probably get away with shifting forwards. Right, we'll force their hand a little bit now, I think. And these labourers can go there. And the mattocks can start pushing in on the TC. Right, those are Snow Orc Raiders. Something we care very little for. What did D&D do to Gott's plotline? It's go time. They were bolder than roosters. Yeah, you're not really getting the best shots, are you? So we'll bring you back down. We'll bring you down over here. Get into there. Yep, you turn around, face the raiders. They're going to get wrecked. Where's the... Okay, so here are the mountain guard. Actually, this is a pretty good opportunity to maybe get into do some charging business and utilise our axe throwers a little bit more. Haven't really seen the Stonefoot spears in action yet, but they've got the old Iron Guard spear. Well, that's a really weird lurching forward, that. Right, what have we got going on over here? Yeah, they're going to lose. Erebor infantry not doing me dirty this time. Right, and now we can actually pull Gimli out, I think. Because we will require his services. Wow, those Dale cavalry, yeah, they're getting shredded when they get into melee with the lads. Right, yeah, you go over here. Dale cavalry can, I think, just hang wide. Again, it's just a slow process as the dwarves. keep going into melee. Mattocks. Shoot at the mountain guard. There should be a good amount of damage we can do to them. Right, do we need a little bit of a boost in terms of fatigue? Maybe not just yet. Yeah, we're going to leave our cavalry out as well. Actually, yeah, we can use our cavalry to get a hammer and anvil charge over here, possibly into the TC as well after that. Yeah, we're actually dumping a lot of our ammo in here now. The labourers were always going to be thrown under the bus, unfortunately for them. Ah, they thinking about... They're not going to rout in the town centre after all, so I think it's probably worth our time to just charge in there and leave them in melee, actually. Mountain guard getting assaulted. Get Gimli in there, and then we'll pop our special ability, I think, because I think, yeah, that's probably not helping the speed bonus any. Yeah, victory is going to be ours, just sacrificing the working class again. Yeah, we've needs must. It wasn't actually by design that the Dwarven labourers were engaged by the mountain guard of all things. It doesn't matter now though, Gimli himself is in here. Where is Gimli? There he is. Our boy. Unlike his retinue, he wields his two-handed axe with just one hand. He's just that strong. I love how Dan said that Battle for Winterfell, the audience witnessed the death of the Dothraki. I mean, they're fools, aren't they? They made themselves look like fools. Go in there, and yeah, this is going to be the end of Rakyaberg. We will now learn if version 4.5 has Gundabad gain a doom stack when they're down to 3 settlements, I suppose. Only 4 mountain guardsmen remain. Right, where are we? No. You need to get into the mountain guard as well. No good shirking your duties. It's a shame that their general model is in and amongst the labourers and the axe throwers. Well, we are victorious. There we go. The Abyss. They had 2 generals? Oh yeah, they had the Orc Fighters as well, the Captain stack. Gimli getting good. Yeah, the Northman Archers. They were in the best position on the hill then, because they've got the same damage stats as the Stiffbeards. So, yeah, very well done. Goes to show. Don't necessarily need a ton of damage, you just need to be able to consistently deliver it from a good position. I'm glad that we're going to take these territories early as well, because it means that by the time we get to constructing and utilising more tier 3 units, we'll be able to pump Dragon Slayers out. And that is a really good unit. Line infantry and armour piercing. So you've got the tankiness of a shield with the bite of an axe. Yeah, we'll be executing them. I wonder as well if Gundabad will be able to easily reinforce Rakyaberg, to be honest, because there's not that many people here, to be honest with you, so we're just going to occupy it. Because Anduin is here blocking the way, so they won't actually be able to take Rakyaberg back all that easily. We can't quite make it back. But I do actually want to make it back with all of those units. We'll leave Gimli here because I think he will keep the populace happy for the time being. Coins, enemy army routes. Alliance announced between Rune and Dol Guldur, so you'd expect because of Kamul. A new family member, Darim. Look at that beard. That's wispy. You're gonna have to work on that, my friend. I wonder who that is actually. Where are we? We have. Oh, it's Gimli's son. Gimli's got a son and a daughter. Thorin, you need to be working on this, my dude. You're not doing anything but lounging around in your castle, in your hold. Gimli's on campaign and he's still managing to get the job done. Incredible scenes. Right. What have we got going on here? Yeah, Durin's Guard, so that'll be good. And Kirit Gathol, yeah, we weren't going to build any more units here, were we? At least not for now. We have the option open to us should Rune arrive. I liked Game of Thrones Season 8, but over the months that has changed to utter disappointment. Well, that can be the way, can't it? This is actually a pretty big territory. It would be nice to have a watchtower about here, but considering Anduin are in the way, actually, I'm not too fussed. So yeah, if this is not Doomstack time, then that's ideal, really, isn't it? Rakyberg, we can build something in though, can't we? So do we have useless appendages? Leather Tanner isn't useless, a grog hut isn't useless, a slave pit isn't useless, technically, which is surprising. A brawler's pit is, however, so we'll be getting rid of that one. An armory is actually useful, it means we get a garrison. Hunting hut, butchery. Yeah, they've left us a pretty neat little settlement here, haven't they? We can only construct a brewery, which is a culture increase bonus, which I guess we may as well do. We'll recruit another spy as well, why not? Why not, says I. Can we... No, yeah, there's still a long time before we can recruit units there. Okay then. We'll check on Bombor, because I'm not sure if we actually moved him this turn or not. And we didn't. And then we will pass the turn. Get a culture building. It's the only one I can build there, evac, so my decision was made for me, rather. A Gundabad army might be persuaded to siege that Dane's Halls now because of the lower garrison in there. Yeah, Rakyberg could be used as a bargaining chip for including in a deal for Mount Gundabad if Anduin start pushing Gundabad all the way back up there. But because the Anduin have got to focus on Moria as well and Goblin Town, I'm less concerned about that becoming an issue. They're leaving. Okay, well, brilliant. All this, I'm amazed how smoothly this is going because we've had early game gremlins in both the Lorien, especially the Lorien campaign, but and the Arad because of Harad. It left us in that sort of awkward mode throughout most of the campaign, but that hasn't really been the situation here. We'll be rewarded with a military unit by doing what I was going to do anyway, which I will absolutely want to do. Oh, Nazanar and Witherboard. So Witherboard, actually, at this point, we can probably do something. Mines. Mines is probably what I want, actually. I was going to build something else here. What was it? Can't have been anything too important. It'll go for mines. That money. You can recruit Sons of the Fallen in Dane's Halls and or Nazanar. Yeah, that's got to be tier 3 stuff though, hasn't it, Magione? There's no way they'd let you recruit them right from the start. I'm amazed they let us recruit Axguard of Erebor from the start, but I guess that's a little bit more understandable. Right, Furor. My friend. You're going this way. You're going to be garrisoning something. And over here we can start building more things. We can start building up a little garrison for Erebor itself, I suppose, so that we can potentially move them eastward should the need arise. Sure, let's be stingy. Erebor isn't likely to come under assault from anything too soon. Or Nazanar. Stoneworkers Guild House there. Ironmongers might not be the worst thing. This is a fortress after all, so recruitment could be useful as we move forwards. Yeah, sure, it'll give us a little bit of extra cash and it's actually useful. What's your diplomatic situation right now? We'll have a little look. Well, we can just look at that now. So we've got a lot of allies. We have got both of our dwarven friends, Dale, Anduin, and the Woodland Realm. Rune and Gundabad still are our enemies. Gundabad, obviously, relations abysmal because we keep carving our way through them. Wouldn't have it any other way. Right, can we make it to Rohan? This will be actually an interesting little test of... Well, look at this. Rohan might win this time as well. They have pushed over the Eisen. And they've got good armies here as well. Go on, Rohan. Let's go. And I'll give you map information as well.
Seems like a most reasonable deal to me.
Crazy.
Well, that seemed fruitful.
Right, I bet it's Northman archers, isn't it? Yep. I'll take it. They're cheap. Path blocked for Bombor. We should probably get out of there with him. Look at this though. They could take Eisenrun and Isengard. Why were they so useless in my Lorien campaign when I needed them to be good? They're actually doing bits now. Rakiberg. Oh yeah, a spy. That's a good point. So he may be a fair distance away, but what I actually want him to do is go over here, so that we can have a little look to see what's going on in the east. Relations worsened, but why would I can't believe our relations are so with the Goblins of Moria. Faction announcements: Faror, promising commander. Thrar. Oh yeah, that's a spy. Okay, I thought that was another general for a second then. That's fine. And end of turn report. Good. Right, so now let's get you back into there, because it's much more important to try and shore things up here. Could combine some of these units. There's no real need to at the moment though. We don't actually save money by doing that anyway. Maybe what we do is we build up an army here and then just punch right up to Mount Gundabad. We build an army up with Gimli. This is just a purely defensive army. Like the idea of that. And just drop my bloody pen. Where did that go? There it is. But yeah, I think we will go for Gundabad, but we'll want to go via the southern end of the arid MITHRIN mountains, because going up this way, this is where like all of their stacks are going to be, and it could be... We've also got full visibility over here, which is good. Can we... There we go, so we can see what's in Framsburg as well. Not a huge amount going on here. Hopefully the Anduin don't capitulate and lose Framsburg, because otherwise it'll become a two-front war for us again. Current army can get the job done. That's not what I'm worried about, Evac. What I'm worried about is when we take Gundabad, it needs to be a full stack, really, in both Gundabad and Dane's Halls, because the Doom stack will spawn. So, I want to be a little careful. Right, you can go up here, because that army did retreat. You move forwards. So yeah, we will build units wherever we are able, which is not there. And Rakiberg is unlikely to be able to build stuff for a while. Erebor, yeah, we're already building stuff, and we've got our general here, who we will probably we could send with Gimli, I think, because it would be useful to have a unit of Durin's Guard. We can actually use him to build some watchtowers as well on the edge of our border with the Anduin in Framsburg. We're making so much money at this point, I think it's probably worth our time to actually buy those two Orakani units. Okay. It was this turn that we got our alliance with the Rohirrim, wasn't it? Yeah. Smooth sailing? I don't trust it. In a campaign from me, ironically, Gundabad eliminated Erebor, Dale and nearly Anduin until I had to end the campaign spontaneously, because spontaneously Gundabad, Mordor, Isengard and Angmar declared war on me. If left to the AI, we've seen Gundabad do really quite well. Erebor hasn't actually done all that well in the hands of the AI. So the Anduin aren't moving against Gundabad as such. It's the opposite way round, actually. Framsburg is a pretty decent town, actually, so... I mean, I don't want it to become a two-front war again, but it moves the possibility of... Benefactor for King Dane. Drarin. He bends the truth. He's hateful. I quite like this idea, though. Yes. You will go to... You're going to go up here, actually, because we want you to build a watchtower right there, because that's a bit of a blind spot. You can go this way, and you will be the general that oversees Onazanar, because this is going to become a bit of a powerhouse for us in the long run. Rakyaberg, can we actually build anything else at all in Rakyaberg? No, it's one of those towns, so we will go for a low tax rate. No, not very high. Low, so that it grows. You can go in here. Dane's Halls. I'm used to being constantly under the cosh, so it's a little bit refreshing that I'm the one that gets to dictate the pace of things. Right, so there, free upkeep for all of these boys as well. Definitely want more stiff-beard archers, and I think we want more Erebor axe throwers as well. And that was it, wasn't it? That was it, but we have Bombor. Yeah, look at that, that is a big old army, that. It's a shame we can't see what's included in it, but they won the battle for the Fords of the Eisen, really. Hornburg got sieged a couple of times, but Rohan were victorious in the early exchanges. I'd love for Rohan to win this. It might be the world against Mordor by the end, because you can hang your hat on Gondor losing to Mordor in the long run. And now we'll go up towards Lorien for the final bit of diplomacy that we will need to do on Bombor's tour of the West. And that's it again, isn't it? That is all we need to worry about. Well, we'll see. I hope the Anduin don't lose Framsburg, but they might. It might be something that occurs. But I mean, we hold pretty much the entirety of the ERED MITHRIN mountain range at this point, because this technically is our province. So they are all ours. Send some of the units in the east to the front line. It'll take them a long time to get there, Xavier, and I'm just going to keep them there because I don't really know what Rune is doing. We haven't got the Rune prospers message, and Dale apparently are strong, so it's not a big concern, but I don't want to get too cocky and have Kirit Gathol fall due to my own negligence. And I don't think we need all those units over there anyway. Dale and Dorwinion won't win against Rune. I mean, Dorwinion have won on their own against Rune in both of the previous campaigns with relative ease. And I have an army over there anyway, so if needs be I can save them and bail them out as I continue to build up a little force, but Rune have been rather toothless in the past two campaigns, and Dorwinion have been the real powerhouse. But it's gone well. It has gone well. And Drarin has got a bride presented to him. Yes. Can you make it there? Not quite. You go in there. That is a nice force we have. We can actually build something else in Dane's Halls now as well after that armoury has been built. And Ironmongers in Onazanar. Recruitment. Kirit Gathol. Yes. And that was everything, wasn't it? So yeah, Dane's Halls. Toggle FOW. I'm not going to toggle FOW halfway through, Kobe. That's cheating. I'm not going to toggle FOW at all, really, with Erebor, because I don't have access to the Palantir. So it makes sense not to. I'm just going to... I'm going to have to guess at that. I wonder... The closest Palantir... Where is it? It would be Isengard's, wouldn't it? Which is a long way off. I mean, technically speaking, it is at the end of the mountain range, but I mean, if Rohan continue with that, they'll probably take Orthanc. It's a nice little house rule that it was... Someone told me that Izzy used it, and I like that house rule. It's a good one. Right, what can we build here? Roads. And ironmonger's here as well. I like the fact that the dwarven blacksmith gives you a bit of income. It gives you a reason to build it. Brewery, practice range. We'll go with that. We'll go with a ballista maker because we need some siege. By the time it gets to around the barracks event, that's when we're going to be able to start pumping out siege as well. So I think thinking ahead of time there, that would be really quite good. We don't really need to worry about free upkeep, so we will actually send these boys westward. Hello, Manus Hudson. We might even get to take Gundabad in this part, to be honest. If we can form up an army around Gimli here, we might even be able to transition some of these units down, because we've got an armory on the go. Could probably get away with combining some of these units, actually, now that I think of it. Okay, yeah, that'll do. So, a couple of decent units to take with him would be probably some stiff-beard archers. The archers inside Dane's Halls actually aren't going to be all that useful now that I think of it. The axe throwers will be, but the archers might struggle to get the arc of fire that we really want. So I think we will actually send any archers we have with Gimli as he forges ahead. The rest of these lads can probably stay behind as a defensive force, and we've got another thing. Be cool if you can take Gundabad this stream. We may very well be able to. It's going very smoothly, actually, Manus. Remarkably so. We've got these lads on the way forwards. Might be able to construct a couple more units closer to the front line. Well, as you know, 8 turns, we won't. And then there's these lads. Oh, Nazanar, that's it. That's what I was forgetting. I knew we had a place that we could build something. And it was here. Roads. Only 6 turns for those roads. And actually it probably would be fairly useful. Although I think... yeah, we'll go for another mining network. Going for those... those dwarven... that dwarven money. Economy management is one of the things in Total War that often ends up being a real bottleneck, but I don't think that's going to be the case this time. Oh wait, yeah, before we do, forgot to move you, didn't we? Maybe I crippled Rohan more than I knew by taking Rockburg, but feels kind of a weird thing to make. Minas Tirith, Orthanc, Undertowers, Barad-dûr are the only Palantiri in the game. Yeah, and we're unlikely to get to any of those places, really. Maybe Orthanc in the very late game, depending upon how that goes, but Rohan look like they're winning that fight. You love to see it. Galadriel's mirror also kind of functions like, yeah, that's true. But again, like we're not going to be marching into Karas Galadon and being like, listen, it's go time. We're going to be taking down these Malon trees, installing a few mines. Don't think the elves will go for that. Framsburg is under siege, which is slightly concerning. There's a lot of troops being made, or garrisoned at the very least, in Eorlstone. Ered Luin rejects a gift. So in just carrying on with the theme of how smooth this campaign has gone, Ered Luin are not going to take the dark path, which I'm actually slightly disappointed about. I was kind of looking forward to a bit of a civil war, even though Ered Luin at the high end with their pikes and crossbows probably have the beating of us if they perform well. But such as it is, Ered Luin, Angmar are in massive trouble now because Ered Luin will start moving eastward and rolling them up. You can take Framsburg. Yeah, I might have to be... well, that force alone probably won't take it because there are more Anduin stacks coming up here. That is goblins. We'll see. It may be that I have to be spurred into action fairly quickly. Cannot construct watchtowers here. But why? Right, anyway. No matter. We have More units that we have constructed, more mattocks potentially, more spears. They're nice and cheap. Yeah, we're going to get more spears as well. Yeah, we need just all of our units going this way, because when the doom stacks come... Good, you can now... Actually, this means that you aren't even a free upkeep unit anymore, so you can start trudging your way forwards as well. Free upkeep units only in Onazanar. Erebor. Still can't build anything there. How long until we can start building stuff here? Still 5 turns. Right then. 2 turns until that mining network is complete. If Rune are losing to Dorwinion and possibly Dale, depending on how the expansion has gone, this may end up being one of the most straightforward divide and conquer campaigns it's possible to have. Fangorn has been reached. Rockberg, hello Rohan. It will have to be Mordor and their minions from the south that have to carry the day for evil. It would be just typical if Khand took the good path as well. Don't want to get too cocky though, because Gundabad could still spoil the party. Right, we'll get a watchtower on that bridge. Then we can move that diplomat. I don't even know if we necessarily need a diplomat over here, but... Anduin Vale. Are they going to lose Framsburg? They could probably... Well, I don't know if they'd retake it actually. It may be that we have to do this the old-fashioned way and we can't rush down Gundabad because we won't have the Anduin there sort of keeping Gundabad in check while we do that if they lose Framsburg, and we'll have to just sort of go for Framsburg, then Yulstone, then Gundabad. They lost that fight. Wow, you're not having the best of times, are you, Gundabad? What are you doing? Well, we shall have to go back to Rakyaberg then with our general boy. Guess we can place down a watchtower real quick. Angmar has some nasty AP units too. Wow, that's... I'm so glad that you have given me money, because I was so short on it. Angmar has... Yeah, they've got the Iron Crown Halberds, the Rudau Huskarls, a few Javelins at the high end. That may just be my reforged brain ticking. Cannot construct a watchtower here. Alright, go back to Rakyaberg. Okay, so yeah, Anduin were victorious there. They're not going to achieve anything with those armies there. We are too strong on the front line. This way. This way. Right, unit recruitment. Stonefoot Spears in Erebor. Start heading up this way. And... Sure, why not? More mattocks. Right, let's see what's going on over here. Is this a runic territory, I wonder? I mean, this region is huge, the Iron Hills, so it'll take us a little while to even get over there. Right then. Which of the evil factions is going to take up the mantle as being Scourge of the World? It will almost certainly be Mordor, but someone needs to do it, because at this rate things are going rather poorly for them. I don't know what everyone was so scared about. Right, still can't build anything there, still waiting on construction elsewhere. Actually, we can recruit some labourers, which we may as well. Like, at this point, if we can recruit units, we may as well, to be brutally honest. Okay. Yeah, and on it, if they lose, well, I don't think they're going to lose Framsburg at this point, Anduin. They won't be able to push into Yulstone either. Northgard is their strongest melee and AP. Is that the archer? It's like the I know that Overlord Agendour, their faction leader, starts off with Temple Wards, which are strong, but they're not AP and they're a melee unit. Angmar have a super-powered version of the Flag Rim. Yeah, that's the Guardians of Khan Doom, isn't it? The Mace Man. I wouldn't mind Angmar being strong, to be honest with you. It would give us a worthy foe that we could fight alongside our kin from the west. Ah, Lorien. Labourers are just going to be used defensively. They will rise up should they be needed. That was Dol Guldur, so I mean they're across the Anduin Dol Guldur. But I mean, I don't know how useful that's going to be, because the trash they're going to have over on this side of the river. They have a hole to dig. Holes in orc skulls, maybe. Osgiliath is under attack. Angmar's Might. The Iron Crown of Angmar still casts a pall of awful shadow and mist in the lands about the fell peaks and spines of Khan Doom. Ever southward the dread travels, and a world broken once by the ice grip of steel-bound claws feels again its withering touch. The Iron Crown's shadowed tendrils seek out and destroy the weakness they find hiding ever still within the lands it broke before, and it will break them again. This time no wretch shall escape its scorn. Well, that's nice. Lorien. Oh, good. We'll be rewarded with a military unit as well. Man, everything really is just... We have Rasbaradhon. Trade rights, and I'll give you map information. I'm glad you think so. Probably Northman archers. Yep, but I'll take it. Relations improved, very good with Lorien. Recruitment report all over the place. Construction report in Witherboard and Erebor itself. More mines. Okay. Okay, Bombor, you've had enough of a holiday. Pass through Lorien. I mean, Dol Guldur have got some units over here to give them their credits. They're over on this side of the river, inside Karas Galadon. That's the North Guard. Guardians of Khan Doom, a strong melee cav. The more annoying unit of the Warg Skirmishers. Alright, okay. Fair enough. Right, what have we got here? Right, this is embarrassing, boys. You are embarrassing yourselves. Coming into my domain with this charming looking individual. Right, anyway. So, Ornazanar. No, that wasn't it. It was Witherboard. Yes, Witherboard. What we want here is... This is not really a recruitment province as such. It'll just be sort of regular units that I recruit from here just to bolster our ranks. So... Ironmongers? Again, that's not really something we desperately need here. Mining network wouldn't be the worst thing, but you know what? I think a large pig farm, just to try and get this place to grow as quickly as possible. Dane's Halls, we've got a ballista maker in 1 turn. I think it was Erebor itself, wasn't it? Yes, we need to keep making this. All Angmar Cav is ranged. You can check how Khazad-dûm is doing with a diplomat. It's a good point. Moria beating Khazad-dûm might be something that's quite necessary for this campaign at this point, just to give us another foe to fight. Fairground, increase in tradable goods. Stoneworkers Guildhouse. Yeah, we'll get that now because we'll be building stuff so often in Erebor, and we are already making bank from the Lonely Mountain. Right, you. This is a Dalian territory, so Rune are in no immediate threat of marching on Kirit Gathol, because that is blue, I think, unless that's the grey of Independent, but it looks similar to Dale's colours. Oh no, Dale's a darker blue. Okay, so yeah, that is still an independent region. Okay. The Dale have got armies over here though, which is interesting, to say the least. Yeah. More units. Can't recruit anything more in Erebor just yet. Witherboard we already checked. Ornazanar. Dane's Halls is soon. And Rakyaberg. We can't build anything here. Okay. Right, so we've already moved you, haven't we, yet? Well then. Pretty soon, I think I will just dive right on into Mount Gundabad. I don't know if we'll do it this part. Now, did I forget to move all of them? That's disappointing. Tier 3 roads are only for Gondor and Northern Dunedain. Yeah, that was... I mean, that was not surprising at all. Dol Guldur in and amongst Karas Galadon. Let's go and see it. I will go and have a little check on Khazad-dûm with Bombur. Check in with his old friend Balin. Right. New family member, Fra. Who might that be? Ah, good. So we have Thorin has finally been doing what he needed to do. Kirit Cathol and Dane's Halls has made a ballista maker. Right, okay, so that's actually a force that, I mean, it's still not brilliant, let's be honest, lads. Right, so Dane's Halls, let's build something useful here. Roads could be handy. Mining complex is always nice. Practice range, I mean, we are going to be using this place as a bit of a recruitment hub anyway. This gives us a free upkeep slot as well. I'm going for an Ironmonger's. So cheap. Rakjeberg. Rakjeberg. Right, we will march out and meet that army in the field, I think, because the dwarves are getting restless. Battle is required. Right, and Kirit Cathol had something done as well, didn't it? Yes, it completed its construction. Numenorian forte with ships and archers. And aggressive heavy infantry. Mining complex. Grain exchange again. That's so cheap that it's real tempting. That's actually more useful, so we'll go with the steelmongers. Nothing there. Okay, so we've moved everything. Okay, Dane. Let's go forth and kill us some orcs. We actually don't have any archers in this army, do we? That's fine. Bit of aggression, bit of spice will be required. And also we're going to be going downhill based on this battle map, so this should be marvellous. Master builders could be useful in Dane's Hall. Yeah, all of the main dwarven holds we will be upgrading. I mean, to be fair, all of our settlements will be upgrading at this rate because we've got so much money. So much dosh. Right. How do we get down from here is the question. Right, are they likely to go over here, I wonder? This is going to be one of those weird... Maybe here is the best way. Maybe this is the way. Right, axe throwers can get into a group, because if we can, we will be going around the flank with you. So you go there. Infantry. Mattocks. I mean, the spears count as a shielded unit, don't they? Oh, nearly forgot one. And then mattocks. The labourers can just sit up here and admire our handiwork. Anyone that's routing up this way, they can deal with. And then mattocks will go around this flank alongside the cavalry. I'm assuming they'll go over here. I'm hoping they will. Guildhouse could work in Kirit Cathol. I've got the Oricani Guild Hall already there, if that's what you mean. Okay. So they are almost certainly going to go... And axe throwers. What is it you intend to do? I like the road that cuts through the mountains. Right, the cavalry we will get down there. You know what, we gotta run, haven't we? What are you doing? You need to move forward. No one's going to be slacking here. We need to form up a little bit more readily. Of course they're going to try and leave the premises. Right. And mattocks. I do wonder how we're actually going to be able to get down here, but right, those are mounting guard. To be fair, if we can get a nice sneaky charge on them, I would definitely not say no to that. Right, before we make fools of ourselves, okay, charge into them. They keep shuffling their army around. Is this the side their general is on? Yeah, there he is, look. Nice. They're probably going to take some pretty horrendous casualties on the retreat from those lads, but... Right, can we... I know that you're dwarves, and I know that speed isn't exactly your forte, but can we just hurry things up just a tad? Just a little bit, that's all I ask. Right, orc hunters do not concern me in the slightest. Okay, yeah, charge into them head on. If we can kill off the general in double quick time, I will be all too happy for that. Ooh, that was... We really bounced off them. We killed off a rather pitiful amount. You go off in that direction now, actually, as a result of that. Right, the mattocks are going around the flank. We'll just keep the... I mean, if the mountain guard want to go this way, then the main body of his army are going to get slaughtered. They're leaving, which is very, very nice. Right, yeah, we can actually grab hold of them potentially with our axe throwers as well. Are we... We've already got 2 units of mattocks in there. Oh well. You fire at them. You do the same. And you get ready to charge into the back of them. Okay, yeah, charge into them then. You're so slow. You're going to get absolutely dusted in melee against them as well, aren't you? Yeah, do damage to them. I would really quite like for you to actually spread out just a little bit more. Oh, actually, you can actually charge into the archers, shut them down. Ah, good. Right, reform. Do so in a slightly more alert fashion than that. That's really disappointing to see that happen. Gotta love the pathfinding. The AI has computerized eyes, seeing things that I cannot. That's going to be a good charge, surely. Yes. Get out of there. The dwarves are actually slow to a somewhat aggravating extent, to be honest with you. But it wasn't like an advisory thing. It was an order. Move. Right, you need to get the hell out of there because those are mounting guard. Yeah, you're in melee. It's all a mess. But, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just a case of efficiency, really. A point of pride. Mounting guard. Oh, yeah, they're finished at this level, though. mountain guard. Just shoot into the fighters. You'll probably hit the mountain guard in so doing. Yeah, I know, it's 95% Kobe, but as was said, because the dwarves are short, that actually feels more like they're moving through treacle. I mean, I can understand why. They're so tanky that you don't necessarily want them to be overtly powerful. Going to try and get in the way of my cav charge again, aren't they? They're not going to be successful at it, but they're going to try. Sons of the Fallen doing their thing. Slightly bloodied orc units. A decent charge. Could be better. Fire your axes. You do the same. 2 hours late. Hey there, your enemy's friend. Yeah, we're going to be winding things down fairly soon, ahead of the planned invasion of Gundabad's heartland next time. Dwarven shock infantry is like, it's a good thing it is so tanky in melee because of how slow it is. It's like, what are you doing? Get into them. Start hunting down those depleted units. Snowwalk scouts. What have we got going on here? Yeah, we want our axe throwers into a position where they can actually destroy. Can people see my chat? Hey there, Owen. I can, yeah. Gimli in the movie was wrong about dwarves. Actually slow sprinters, but great joggers. They really hate that cav, don't they? Oh, to get a glimpse into the AI's thought processes. Right, Mattox can... They can rest up. They can just get into a position. Actually, yeah. That one can probably chase them down, to be honest with you. Right, mountain guard. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't know if you're going to be able to avoid melee with them at this point. We are impetuous. They are going to try and kite me down. Right. You enjoying Erebor? I am. I gotta be honest, the game has actually been far kinder to me than I wish it had been, in a weird kind of way so far. Maybe it's making up for the time it screwed me over as Lorien, but everything seems to be going our way. Which I'm not complaining about by any means, but hopefully there is some evil faction. Maybe it's going to be Angmar. They're doing reasonably well. I kind of doubt it though, with the fact that they are just continuing to try and kite us around. But they can just keep... You been facing Rune? If you mean have I been attacking Rune, no, because... Oh, hello. What are you doing? Fortunately, Dane is on the other side of the unit. Yeah, we'll get some Mattox over here as well. Dale Cav. Get after those fighters. Actually, we've got some units up here, have we? Erebor infantry are pursuing something. This might be a chance for the labourers to actually get involved. Just run something down.
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
It's a very bizarre way for the AI to have approached this. Let's hope Mordor doesn't call an invasion on Erebor. I mean, I would accept that, to be honest. Like all of Mordor's like underlings, except for Angmar, I would say, based on the messages. we've been getting, and based on what we've seen, because Rohan are beating Isengard again, amusingly enough. Right. Dalian Cav. Is there anything down here that we can still go after? No. We missed out on killing a few of them. Okay. Get after these. They won't be able to stop the cavalry coming for them. I will do, yeah, I'm just trying to get into a position evac. Times 6 speed is when friendly fire with axe throwers can happen, for example. Right, come on, armor piercing. There we go. That should be the end, to be honest. That should be enough to rout his archers. It's enough to rout his retinue. Come on, lads, it's all over for you. You need to give up. They want to turn around and shoot, but they don't get enough distance between themselves and the dwarves hunting them down. And the cavalry's on the way now anyway, so it's all going to go horribly wrong for them. There are the labourers. There we go. Surely this is the end now. Yeah. And kill them all off. Yeah, Dwarven struggles. Very strong in melee, but they don't have the speed to actually get into melee. Well done, Dane. Always going to be fairly simplistic, but yeah, Erebor infantry doing its thing. Dale cavalry, Mattocks, yeah, normal suspects really. Yester Eve, I lay at Caer Andros, the long isle in the river northward, which we hold in defence, and horses are kept on the hither bank. Caer Andros is still holding for now, but I know that we've been riding a crest, the Free Peoples, in this campaign. But I highly doubt Gondor will be able to defeat Mordor. Maybe with Khand, but even then, kill them. Good tidings. Look at the money we have. Crazy amounts of cash. Unit recruitment, Kirit Cathol, enemy army routes. Okay, Rune is still the richest faction around. Okay, as soon as we have enough of a force over here in Rakyaburg, I will move forward, and now that Anduin have stabilised here, I can just punch right on through to Gundabad. Oh yeah, I forgot to move him. Damn it. I want to see exactly what's happening with Rune and Dorwinion. Can Rune be resurgent? Can they be victorious? Rohan defeating Isengard for a second time in a row, or at least looking like they will. Isengard could, of course, surge back into being the dominant ones there, but just the fact that we're seeing largely full stacks on the western banks of the Isen from Rohan is not a good sign for Isengard. Not at all. Send an emissary to Dol Guldur. No. I don't really need coin at this point anyway. Yeah, this is still a rebel region. Rovanian units. Dale are probably going to take that, surely. I don't mind if they do, to be honest. I mean, these regions are large, vast, and virtually useless. But, Right, you get into Rakyaburg. Another unit of Stonefoots. Right, so we've got one unit there and another 3 units over here. Although what we could do is we'll do that next turn. We'll decide what to do on that next turn. Is it me, or does the elven factions, except in Ladris, seem to struggle to prosper? I mean, it's just that the elves tend to be quite passive, generally. Hey there, Brian. Thank you. Think Rohan didn't do well when we did the Loring campaign because they were grief-stricken over Haldir's death. Maybe that's it. Maybe they just lost all hope after Haldir took a tumble. Like, what are we going to do without Haldia now? Well, we can't quite reach it just yet, but I think we have trade, don't we? Khazad-dûm. Trade rights, yeah, so we're fine. Not that that's any use to us when we're this far away. Right then. Oh, we can build ballista immediately. In which case, do it. Erebor infantry as well. Can't build anything there. Fortress. Yeah, just making sure that everything is in order, and it is. Kirit Gathol. We could build more of an army over here potentially, but we don't really need to at this stage. If Dale are going to take that town especially. Yeah, it's just a case of trying to get these units over to the front line. The perils of having a long realm. Maybe we move forward with Dane even, if he's the one that's going to have the ballistae. It makes a certain amount of sense, I think, actually, for Dane to be the one that we move forward with, and we just go this way. Thinking about that. It doesn't really make much difference which side we go down at this point, because I think we can just roll on through anyway. Probably save a march on Gundabad for the first thing we do next time. Hey there, Mikey. Build towers in the Iron Hills. Yeah, I should do that really, shouldn't I? The goblins. We have expanded westward. ERED MITHRIN is in our hands. Hello again, Llama Boy. Haven't really heard anything of Mirkwood, but then we wouldn't expect to, because Dol Guldur is going to be their foe. Right, they're going that way, which is going to be the death of them. I think we will still attack with Gimli, I think, because I think his army is better suited, just about, to taking Gundabad. Maybe not holding on to it, but taking it certainly. Khand stands with Mordor. News spreads across Middle-earth of the Khan's decision. When faced with choosing between Mordor and the Istari, the Khan chose to stand with Mordor, as Khand has done for generations. The Free Peoples despair at the loss of a potential ally, while the servants of the enemy celebrate the Khan's faithfulness to the Dark Tower. Rumours fly now that the Istari will lay waste to the Khan's capital in an attempt to overthrow his authority and free the people of Khand from the yoke of the enemy. That's probably for the best, to be honest with you, because if Khand had chosen the good path as well, even Mordor would have been sort of slowed down at the very least. Orcs only get only lefts and never rights because orcs don't deserve rights. Go from the north of Anduin. Go from the north, Anduin will hold from the south. Well, there's little things happening. Okay. Anyway, so we're building. We've already built a unit there. Go for another unit of Mattocks. That's 2. And we need 3 more for a full stack, which we will take from this army, which, to be fair, we could probably do with some archers, so we will go for 2 of the Northman archers and 1 unit of infantry, which should probably be just a regular unit of boys, shouldn't it? Yeah. So that will be a full stack. We can also transfer this guy over to keep Dane's halls happy, or perhaps vice versa, depends on what is happening at the time. That unit of Stonefoots can go in there. You can actually go north into Ornazanar. Right, construction complete. Ironmongers in Dane's halls, which is nice. So more cash, potentially, rolling in. Large pig farm. We don't really need a ton of growth here because we've already got quite a lot of people. Orikani Clan Hall is pretty tempting, to be honest. Getting more of those spears and archers. It will help a lot because we'll be using the Stiff-Beard archers way into the late game because they're the best long-range archer that we can get. That's pretty tempting as well. So we're going to be building a lot of stuff here later on. Yeah, we'll go with that because then we can build roads more quickly and the Orikani Clan Hall. So we'll do that. And Magdeburg still can't build anything here with a board. Can't build any more units just yet. Build a couple more units here, which we shall do, because we may as well at this point with the vast wealth upon which we sit. Easy to see why dragon sickness became a thing, isn't it? Oh, they actually left this area. Well, with that in mind, what we shall do, as soon as these units are done next turn, we will actually start pushing out eastward then. I was expecting Rune or someone to have taken this place by now, but if they still haven't, then we'll take it for ourselves. Gladly. So next turn we will be ready, I think, to move out. Yeah, the ballista will be ready, so that is true. We will be good to go. Right, before we actually pass the turn, let's just see what's happening over here. Moria has been reached. Khazad-dûm. Can we get a good look at what's going on over there? That's... Okay, so yeah, in the mountain itself we have got full stacks. Full stacks from both Moria and Khazad-dûm. They're just doing their thing. If Khazad-dûm can win that initial fight, they might be able to carry things on and siege down Khazad-dûm West. Okay. You know what, Bombo? You can stay there. You can just report on, because that's really all we need you for. At this point, diplomacy is not necessary. Well, actually, we can maybe try and get an alliance with Dorwinion. Right, so that's you. I mean, you're a joke of an army. An absolute joke. Okay. Don't know how Khazad-dûm can lose that fight. With a full stack, yeah, like they should be fine. The way they lose it generally is being overwhelmed, but Moria have a tendency to spread themselves too thin. If they were to focus on Khazad-dûm, they could overwhelm them every time, but the AI doesn't do that. I am actually kind of tempted to let Gimli lead the army that we send northward bound. But yeah, Anduin are beating those small stacks that are around. There wasn't a fight there apparently, which is kind of interesting. Goblin boys. Thank you, Anduin, for clearing that bridge. The Anduin is interfering. I don't mind them mopping up little stacks. The blue... Wow, the blue wizards perish. Despite the best efforts of the blue wizards, their attempt to crush the capital of Khand, while successful, was met with strength that overwhelmed them, and both Istari died in the battle. Without the leadership of the Blue Wizards, the surviving dwarves have withdrawn to the Red Mountains, leaving behind an exhausted force of Khandish rebels that will no doubt soon be crushed. It is a great defeat for the Free Peoples, one that sees the Shadow triumph and shall take advantage of. That was incredibly fast. Last time, the Blue Wizards didn't actually die. We never got that message. They were just sort of roaming around the map. But, wow, within like a turn, the Blue Wizards have been crushed. Hey there, Armin. An Axesmith's Guild, which we shall take. Stalatsa Khand lost. Well, I mean, they took it back, so no one cares about that. Erebor, Kirit Cathol, Witherboard, and Onazanar. Right, for you, we have a mining network. For Onazanar, we have... Let's get some more upkeep. I think we shall that. Yes. Erebor itself. What can we get that will give us more money? Great roads. Great roads is all kinds of tempting. But first, mining. More cash. We need more money. That's the problem. We don't have quite enough yet, I don't think. More gold. And here... iron plate. That'd be quite nice, but What do we want? What do we want? A stone... Actually, we don't even have a... Oh no, that's like the higher tier version, isn't it? Yeah, we'll go with that. Can we actually train anything else? Labourers. Yeah, sure, why not? And... Oh, Dale is sieging this, never mind. Oh well. You might be able to stop the Anduin from advancing any further. And I don't care if the Anduin advance any further. They can take Yulstone. I don't care about Yulstone. Mount Gundabad is the only thing I care about. Right, Gimli. You will go here, like so. You will get a full stack at your back. Rakiberg is not happy about that at all, is it? Is it because... a high tax rate again? No. Low tax rate is what we want. We want growth and happiness. Prosperity for all. Get some labourers here, because we will actually need a bit more of a garrison, I think, for Dane's Hall. Which we will achieve with these boys, because they're not getting free upkeep anyway. And that is pretty much that, I think. Yeah, we can't build anything there. What's going on in Khazad-dûm? Nothing. They're just sort of sat there trading blows with one another, aren't they? Well then. Anything we can build here? Erebor infantry? Thing is, I don't even think we need that Erebor. Well, we have so much cash on hand, and they'll get free upkeep anyway, so it's foolish not to, really. It's not a full banner army, not quite, but it is... Actually, you know what? We could combine those units and get another slot for... We've got some archers, we've got pretty much everything, but perhaps another unit of the finest Erebor infantry would interest you, Gimli. Labourers into Dane's Halls. Axe throwers into Dane's Halls. What else do we want in Dane's Halls? We'll go there with you, and we'll also go there with you. That'll be enough to hold any stacks that manage to get through the cheese grater that is the Anduin Vale. And then we're just going to march right through. We're not going to take this settlement first. We're going to go right into Gundabad. We can take it immediately as well because of the ballista. But that will be how we start the next time, because we will save it. We will pass the turn just to see what Gundabad actually do, and what indeed the world does. And then we will end the stream there. Because this has been remarkably smooth sailing, I have to say. I mean, I know that Erebor are not exactly one of the most challenging factions in the game, but I wasn't expecting evil across the entire map to be being dealt such stinging blows. That wasn't expected. Still just fights happening. Obviously, in narrative terms, Dane wouldn't want Khazad-dûm to be lost to the goblins again, but in gameplay terms, it probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, because it would give us a target to take as well. Such is the way of things, though. Now then, that is going to be it. So, we will save it there. The turn has passed. Recruitment report. More units pretty much everywhere. But yeah, that is... I just saved it, I know, but I'm really paranoid about these things because I don't want the whole campaign to be lost because of my own incompetence. But that is going to be the end of this stream for today. And I'm having a good time. Hopefully, you know, someone like Angmar or potentially even late game Mordor spreading themselves across the map will give us the late game target that we need to be able to utilise stuff like Dragon Slayers, Sons of the Fallen, and Hammers of Gundabad effectively. But for now, next time will be a bit of a challenge, because when we take Gundabad, that will definitely be a doom stack for Gundabad, and it will be a doom stack made of scary stuff. So we'll see what happens there. That will be next week at some point. Again, we're getting into the time period now where there are going to be some university things that I need to do. but I don't know exactly when that will be. So for the time being, it's best to just assume that the stream will be at the normal time of 1:30 GMT in the afternoon, of course, on Wednesday and Thursday next week. And there will be a couple of videos coming out over the weekend as well. There will be it will be like a large pitched battle actually on the Mordor map. So the Ashen Plains of Gorgoroth will be the scene of a battle replay over the weekend. And there is a large-scale siege as well. I'm not sure which order they're coming out in, but I know that there is a large-scale battle on Gorgoroth, and then there's a large-scale siege on a map which I can't quite recall. But mercifully, it's not going to be a battle that takes place at night again, like the Mount Graham one was. Nonetheless, that's going to be the itinerary coming up in the next week or so. Hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you'll join me for whatever is next.